Hello, fellow homebrewers. JP here, and I want to introduce to you the brand new Brew-Built X1 Conical Series available at More Beer. More Beer sells the highest standard in homebrewing equipment, and the Brew-Built Conicals are just that. They're made from mirror-polished 304 stainless steel, and they come with loads of features that you and I have been looking for. They have a full 2-inch bottom dump valve, which will eliminate your clogging issues, while the sturdy base includes 4 reinforced legs, just like those big Pro tanks do. More Beer also carries the Brew-Built line of options and add-ons like casters, pressure kits, and even external glycol chillers. So you can find out more about the new Brew-Built X1 Conical Unitanks by going over to morebeer.com for detailed videos on the entire line of Brew-Built Conicals. You can trust Brew-Built with your next fermentation, and you can trust More Beer to find the right conical for you. Brew-Built at morebeer.com.
The Brewing Network Sunday Session is brought to you by the badasses at More Beer. Visit them at morebeer.com.
Great beer is about drinkability. Doesn't matter the style.
You guys are like walking beer Wikipedia. That's the first time that you've ever accepted me as a person.
Or you have a fermentation in your gut.
I'm jet propelled at all times.
How many guys do you think that you have the privilege to slap?
Somebody who's never tasted a commercial example, and this is how you know everything about this beer? Please, you don't.
I think that's bullshit.
I think it's bullshit, too.
Wow. Are you guys going to arm wrestle?
No. We're going to teabag fight instead.
Yeah. You heard of Junkyard Wars?
Can I get another high five, Beavis?
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
Oh, boy. A couple weeks vacation, all ruined in 4 minutes. All the stress was gone, and about 4 minutes of pre-show activity, and I feel like leaving again. I'm out of here.
Where are you going?
I don't care. I'm going to go to Martinez. I'm going to go on vacation to Martinez, I think. Actually, I feel much calmer than I did before I left, even though the same disasters are happening.
I always felt the same way when I've been gone all summer, and I want to, go back to school and see everybody. Yeah. Within the first day or two, it's like...
stressed out again.
Well, no, it's like, it was summer. Back the other way.
Well, we're back, and we're on air, and that's what counts. Happy to be here, back in the studio in the Hop Grenade. I missed the Hop Grenade while I was gone.
I'm sure you did.
A little. I went to beer bars all over France. Well, all over Paris.
Would it have helped if you spoke French?
My French sucks.
Well, of course it does.
Koen, you speak French at all?
Oui.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, my French is really bad. I think I should take French classes, but...
at best, you'd be a Canadian French guy?
The pronunciation is very difficult, is the problem.
Well, yeah, there's
because there's
sounds that we don't make.
There's sounds we don't make. So I'm trying to remember the words, but there's two things you have to remember: the words and then the pronunciation, which of course sounds silly. Of course that's what it is. But like you point out, Doc, but there's sounds that we don't make.
Yeah.
And I end up just sounding like a fucking asshole.
You sound like a retard.
Well, I felt a little bit better. So I've been to France now like 5 times. One of my favorite places. And my French is still terrible. But I met an American there who speaks French fluently, but his pronunciation is awful. It's terrible. He sounds like an American speaking French. He doesn't do any of the sounds.
No, it's his accent.
Well, it's his accent, yeah. But he literally doesn't produce the sounds that he's supposed to.
Well, it's like a Texan speaking French.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody understood him. So it actually made me feel a lot better because I was like, oh, well, even if I fuck up the pronunciation a little bit, people will still understand me.
Yeah, they know the common mispronunciation.
Yeah, they'll just look at me like they looked at him, which, they're like, well, yeah, it's a little bit of like, oh, you're an American idiot. But at least he was speaking French, and holding conversations. So I don't know. I'll see what happens.
I don't think you can do it.
I don't think so either.
I don't think you can.
But it's wish. I got to dream about it a little
Come on,
bit.
DVC's right over there.
I know. I came back and I looked up classes, the old adult education classes.
Yeah.
Which made me feel like an old guy. I'm like opening the adult education manual.
You won't until you go take those classes. I have taken those classes. You won't be the oldest one in there.
No, I'm sure.
You got all these people going to go on their vacation.
Yeah.
And they're trying to learn to speak that.
Yeah.
So it's not like Adam and Eve offering adult products. It's not the good kind of adult.
It's not the good kind of adult. Absolutely not. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll see. Who has time for that? It's just that every time I go there to Europe and everybody speaks at least two languages.
At least.
And they have to deal with me, every time. And I'm like, well, do you speak English? Yes, of course we do. Oh, well, thank God. I need to order a beer.
Well, it's worse when you try to speak their language and they go, oh,
yeah,
you want to speak French? Or you want to speak German? They go, yeah, that's what I'm trying.
Yeah. It was fun, though. I had a great time. I was just there. I'll tell you guys more about it later because I brought some beer back. I brought back a beer called Tasty, brewed by our friends in Paris, Outland Brewing Company. You guys remember Jan?
Oh, yeah.
Outland is, in my opinion, they're making the best beer in France from what I tasted. And Tasty is one of them. Is yours not working, Tasty?
It's a little low or something.
Oh, I know why.
Things are cutting in and out a little bit.
Speak up until the break, and then I'll fix it.
All right. I'll yell.
There
I can tell it's over.
Yeah, there's a gate on there that I can't.
Yeah, I can tell. It's just cutting in and out.
I'll fix it. The break. So, Tasty's a great beer. I brought some back for us to try. I brought back some Italian beer for us to try. I hope it's better than the Italian beer that I had. Now, I know that the Italians they're making some good beer now. There's some good craft breweries there. Koen, help me out here. Koen is here, along with Shoe Bros Brewing Company. They're hanging out in the studio today. We're going to be talking to both of them soon. And Koen is from a brewery in Belgium. What's the brewery name, Koen?
The brewery name is Gulden Spoor.
Say it again?
Gulden Spoor. It's like the golden spoor. They used it in some wars to attach to their feet to help the horses run faster.
Okay.
Oh, the spork?
Spurs,
yeah.
Spork.
I thought I had a different brewery name here from you.
Yeah,
there's a whole bunch of them.
I thought you told me it's Zevenzonden.
I was fairly confused.
This is like the worst pre-interview ever.
Listen, you see if you can make sense
It's not even the right brewery. Is Zevenzonden the brewery too?
No. Zevenzonden is the beer I make, and my brew company is called Hugel, but I make it in the brewery, which is called Gulden Spoor.
Okay.
So I don't have an own brewery. I brew it in their brewery.
Got it.
Yeah.
See, Scott gets confused very easily, so I can understand how this is even worse.
That was clear.
No, I'm saying that this is even worse for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I freelance brew also for a brewery which is called Kazematten.
Okay.
So that's another story as well.
Oh, all right.
You still following?
I am. Okay. All in Belgium.
All in Belgium, yeah.
Okay.
West Flanders.
Fantastic. So help me out here. Are the Italians starting to make good beer? You're not sure about it either.
No.
So, okay. Now,
no position to
I'm
say.
glad you said that because everyone in France and even a bit over here is telling me, no, the Italians are getting good at it. There's some good breweries, but I'm having a hard time finding one. And so every place I went, if they had a craft beer, and I know the difference. I know that sometimes they say it's craft beer, but it's clearly not. Like, I know what I'm looking at.
They have their Budweiser.
Yeah, of course. So I tried some real craft beer. Oh, man, it was real bad. Like one of them was, just infected, and the other one it's like bubbling over. Like every one you open is a gusher, and they're having some trouble with the craft beer.
Did they stand there and watch you taste it and watch your reaction?
No, because I didn't have it at any breweries. So in the Italian brewery's defense, I did not have any fresh Italian beer from a brewery, okay? So I'm not trying to piss all over Italy here. But the few that I had, they were real bad. So Moretti Rosa.
Yeah.
Rosa, I think. I just drank that. Which, by the way, is really good fresh.
It's a Doppelbock. It's awesome.
Yeah, if it's fresh, it's nice. We get it here, too, and,
I still like it here.
It is what it is.
Isn't it in the green bottle out here, the Moretti stuff?
No, their regular lager is like their golden lager. That's in a green bottle. But their Rosa, like they do everything different with that when it's in a brown bottle. It's brewed really well. It's nice. So I had a lot of that. In France, however, I had some good beer. And I had some bad beer, I'm not going to lie, but that happens here too, doesn't it? But the breweries are getting a lot better. Last time I was in France, it was like 3 years ago, and there was half as many breweries, and the half that were there, a quarter of them made a good beer. So now there's double the breweries, and at least half of them are making good beer. So I think they're doing well. And but beer bars are opening up there, a lot like ours here at the Hop Grenade. Not really bottle shops and bars, just craft beer bars. La Fine Mousse was one of them, which you guys remember a while back we had a gentleman from France on called Simon, and from the bottle shop, La Cava Bull, I think it's called. He's doing really well, and he's part of this La Fine Mousse beer bar now, and they're doing great. In fact, the only trouble, I think that the beer bars there are really respecting beer and doing a good job. The trouble they're having is they can't find enough good beer. Because believe me, I was like, hey, I wonder if the Hop Grenade would make it in France. I thought about it a lot because I want to go to France more often.
Sure.
So, but the problem would be
getting
enough good beer. I don't think we can get enough good beer there yet. We could get a lot of good Belgian beer, of course, but it's the American-style beer that's becoming popular and driving the movement over there, too. Do you find that happening in Belgium, too, Koen, that American-style beers are helping push craft beer?
Yes.
It is.
Last 2 years, we have seen some IPAs and some triple hops in Belgium, and that is pushing the market a little bit. And
it's just driving interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just something for retailers to latch onto. Right?
Yeah, exactly. It gives them more variety, and it's something new. Like the Parisians, the young people, actually not even just young people, they like new stuff, just like we do. So the hoppy beers are doing well, and the French beers that I had that were hoppy beers were pretty damn good too.
What's the distribution kind of stuff over there? Is it a problem? So you want to open up a Hop Grenade over there? Can you load up a container over here and just ship it over there, or you have to jump through the hoops like we have to here?
Well, you can, and it's happening, but it's happening in small quantities. And actually, the real problem is that most breweries here are selling all the beer that they make here. So they're not really inclined to put it on a container and send it over.
No, I'm talking about you.
No, I know
your own container, and then...
No, I know exactly what you're talking about, but they wouldn't want to send the beer there would be the problem. It's me convincing breweries, let me have some beer, and a lot of it, because I'm going to put it on a container. So, like, you can get Rogue all over France right now. I don't know about Belgium.
Because they want to be there.
Not so much in Belgium.
Not so much, no.
Rogue wants to be there. I had Anchor in France. I had Bear Republic.
Right.
So there are breweries doing it. But then there are other breweries, the ones we really want there, right? I'd want to bring over more Firestone. I'd want to bring over more Drakes. Things like that. Well, these guys are all at capacity, right? And they're selling it all in their market. So it's kind of like, a lot of times we have breweries in here and we ask them if they're, our listeners call in and go, hey, when are you going to start shipping to Kentucky? And they're like, well, we're already we were selling everything in our own market, so it's going to be a while. And now I'm asking them to help me ship it overseas. So I think there's still some time ahead of us. But Simon, with the beer shop and then part of the La Fine Mousse, is also a distributor. He's part of a distribution company who brings in beer, also distributes French and Belgian beer to his own beer bars. It's kind of a badass little system. Like, you're the guy.
They like the 3-tier system. You can have all three.
But he's all three.
They don't care.
I think he has partners, so it's not just all him. Right. But I do find that interesting.
It is.
And he's distributing to other beer bars. But it's a bit of like I don't know a lot about it, so forgive me if I'm saying things that are inaccurate, but he could kind of decide, like, well, our beer bar will get this.
Exactly.
And your beer bar, you could have a few of the other things that are left over. I don't know. It just seems like a
Just a little bit imbalance of power.
Little slippery slope there.
I got a feeling as soon as you figure this out,
yeah, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
I'm moving to France.
We're going to lose you like that.
Scott, take notes because you're going to be the new host of the session. I'm fucking out of here. I love that place.
Leave his bar soap here too.
Yeah, I had a good time. It was fun. So we'll try. I brought 2 different French beers, one from Outland and one from Salive, who I think is the other best brewery in France. Of the ones that I had, of course. This is of limited
people
knowledge,
are recommending these beers as
They were recommended to me, and I met some of the brewers. That always helps, too. So I brought a couple of those, and then I brought an Italian beer. And then on another show, I'll bring some more in, because I brought back some other beers, too. And I always like to do that.
You'd leave all your underwear there so you could just pack that suitcase full?
I brought extra suitcases. Here's what was different about this trip than normal. Normally I bring back 2 suitcases full of Cantillon.
Yeah.
Now that I own a beer bar, I can get the shit. So Kate the Great's really excited because she's like, really? We can put other things in the suitcase this time? Like, we could bring home wine, and we brought home some other beer. I only brought 1 beer home for myself. Everything else was for you guys, and then I brought a bunch of wine home for myself this time because I didn't have to stock up on Cantillon. And by the way, I know what people are paying for Cantillon now, too, now that we're paying for it. Let me tell you, they're raping you.
It's not pretty.
They're not being too nice.
Not a pretty picture.
There are beer bars in this state, maybe even this county.
Maybe this town.
Maybe just up the bar tracks.
Who are charging you an awful lot of money for your Cantillon. Now, I'm not saying it's cheap, like we get it all that cheap. I'm just telling you, there's a markup.
It's a markup up?
Oh, yeah. The Market Bear markups.
Here at the Hop Grenade, we don't follow those practices. We mark up all of our beers the same. So we mark up our Cantillon, even though we have less of it, the same way we mark up our other beers. So if you feel like coming in and having an affordable, awesome Belgian beer, I suggest you come to the Hop Grenade.
We've taken a moral stand.
We have. It's probably a stupid idea. We could make a lot more money on these beers.
Our own general manager is like, what are you guys, nuts?
Yeah, we're like, I don't know. It just doesn't.
You got to put the ad out. Cheapest Cantillon in town.
But if we do that, we're just inundated and then it's gone. It's already gone. You don't say anything and you can't keep it on for a night.
You say, sorry, it's gone. Have something else.
Well, and they're like, I see it on the. I can literally see it in the fridge.
That's the other.
I'm looking at it.
But that's the other part of our deal. We actually don't put it on the shelf, and we don't put it on the menu because what we don't want is the people who come in and buy it and then put it on eBay. We don't. We don't want those douchebags,
for on-site only. Yeah.
Especially because of our price. Like you can buy it super cheap and then sell it. Well, not cheap, cheaper, and then sell it on eBay. We don't like that, so we don't even put it on the shelf. You kind of have to know we have it, and I'm telling you right now that we have it. I think we still have it.
I think they're gone.
Was it gone since I left?
I think they lasted one night. I think we put out a handful and they were gone immediately.
They were gone. Okay.
I think we're saving a few more for possibly the next Sour Show.
Can you buy them back on eBay?
Yeah, let's go get them back. Well, I guess I should have brought home more Cantillon. All right.
Wait, I have a question about the Anchor and the Bear Republic and those American beers you were seeing out there. What was the price point like?
I don't remember. I'll tell you why, because the first couple days I was there, I didn't pay for anything because I didn't switch my money over to euros yet. So my friends bought everything. And then I left Paris and did other stuff. But it wasn't that bad. I don't think it was a whole lot more expensive than we pay for it here.
So I kind of thought that, but I'm wondering how in the world they can make it work. Because aren't beer margins notoriously small and the volume is high? No?
No. I don't think that's the deal. I think... Is the industry going to turn its back on me? Because I think that's what we've been told.
But isn't true.
It depends. It's a numbers game. It always depends. Volume obviously helps. So if a brewery like Rogue is sending over a container full of beer and Anchor, they can sell it at a more reasonable price point. But if you're only sending over a pallet of beer, for example, that's really not much beer. It's almost nothing. And so it is certainly a numbers game. But I think the margins are pretty decent in beer. I think if the margins weren't so good in beer, we wouldn't be seeing everybody and their brother opening up a brewery.
That's true.
Let's not kid each other.
Maybe it's just small in comparison to whiskey or something. Maybe it's just relatively small, but not small by business's standard.
Well, and by that association, that's why sour beers oftentimes we pay more for. Because like whiskey, they have to sit around on its inventory. It doesn't, things like that. So, I don't know. I thought the prices were good. The problem is that I'm already losing money going over there, because the dollar sucks compared to the euro. So I think I get something like... So you did good coming this way, Koen.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. He's smiling.
I think I lose something like 32 cents a dollar now.
Sort of like just taxes.
Yeah.
No, not as much.
Yeah. So I get... For every dollar I put in, I get 68 cents back.
Yeah, wow.
Scott, you couldn't even deal with it.
No way.
You would look at it once, you'd get back on the plane, and you'd go home.
And I speak fluent French and Italian.
Yeah.
Can't handle it.
So that already hurts. And what's up with the dollar?
Okay, so you're not going there anymore.
Well, that's not true. I'm leaving again in a month.
Fuck you.
Anyway,
Can
it's
I go?
worth it.
Can you put me in the luggage?
You want to hear one crazy story before we move on and talk about beer? I found this little place in the south of France. It's a bar in a tiny little town. The town lives within the walls of a castle. Like it used to be a castle or a kingdom or something.
Castellet.
And the town still lives within these walls. It's a tiny little town. And there's this beer bar. Actually, it's an everything bar. And there's liquor, there's alcohol everywhere. I mean, even on the bar, like where you would sit at the bar, you'd have one little space to put your glass down, and everything else you'd be surrounded by bottles of alcohol, because the guy's deal is that he wants to have every alcohol in the world. And then he has something like 400 beers. In fact, I even saw Wes Letterin, like a six-pack of it. But he wouldn't sell it to me, fucker.
Because you're American, or you couldn't speak French?
No, because he said it was a gift to him. So I don't think he bought, like someone gifted it to him. But anyhow, the point of this story is I love charcuterie. I could live on beer and charcuterie. In fact, that's what I do when I go there. So sausages, cured meats. It's amazing. Pate, all this sort of stuff. At this particular bar, you rent it. A platter about the size of our mixing board. So what? It's like a 2-foot by 2-foot wooden platter, and it's stacked a foot high with various meats and charcuterie, cured meats. It's enormous, and it's yours for 90 minutes. You can eat all that you want for 90 minutes for 12 euros a person, and he'll give you all the bread you want, and there's a bunch of pate that comes with it. He gives you a couple of knives and some bread. And it belongs to you for 90 minutes. And then after 90 minutes, it goes to the next table. They just move it to the next. You reserve it. You rent the thing.
So you ate meat that other people touched?
I did.
That's just not you.
I know.
He's grown up.
No, he just wanted meat.
My germophobia did kick in about 20 minutes in when I realized how much I had to handle the stuff to cut it. Like my sweaty hands were just all over
and
it.
those other people touched it too.
Yeah. But it's so good. I just kept eating it.
Can you guess how much meat you put in your mouth?
I put a lot of meat in my mouth.
Were you checking your watch to make sure how much of that 90 minutes was left?
That's a lot of time.
Well, after about 40 minutes,
you're like, you're full about right to here.
I met my match. I never thought it would happen. I thought I could eat charcuterie until the cows come home, so to speak. Nope, I met my match. At about 40 minutes, I thought I was going to be sick. Because I just kept shoveling it in.
You didn't want to pull a Roman?
Oh, I almost had to.
Yeah.
What'd you do for the last 50 minutes?
You slow down. You take a little break.
You kept eating, didn't you?
I nibbled.
Okay.
You got to get through it. It's kind of like when you take,
Did you nibble from the top? Or did you pull from the bottom?
Oh, everything. I was taking it from everywhere. I looked at it like this. I've heard that if you take drugs, there's like a certain point where you got to get past the first nausea of the drugs before you have a really good time.
Yeah.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
I looked at it like that. You just eat for 30 minutes, and then there's that moment where you're like, oh, this isn't going to be good. This is just not going to be good. But if you just ride it out,
make it through.
You come through the other side, and you're a better man for it. And that's how I felt about the sausages.
So you have to double down on the meat after that wave?
Yeah.
You do, right?
You go to the bathroom, maybe you have a cigarette.
When are we having the charcuterie party at your house?
So I all I could think of was what a great gimmick this thing was, and I would love to do it even here, because I think people would. It's something people talk about. Like, people all over France, every time we said we were going to this region, they said, oh, you have to go to Tac Tac. That's the name of the bar. But there's no way the health department would allow it here.
Oh, no.
You can't. I mean, it's a mountain of meat with everybody's hands all over it.
It's like a buffet without a sneeze shield.
Maybe we do something like a Brazilian steakhouse. You ever been to like Espetus in San Francisco, where they bring the trays around? Like there's the pork guy and there's the roast beef guy.
They carve it off the stick.
Yeah, just at your table. So
cut it for you.
We have a roaming staff with charcuterie.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. But they have to see the platter, because the platter is what does it for you. You guys think I'm exaggerating? It's bigger than I'm describing.
It's a lot of meat.
It's an enormous amount of meat. And it's gnarly meat, too. Like, some of it's normal, but some of it's like colon. It's like...
Really?
It's a giant colon.
I saw like lips and snout and things.
It's just, yeah. It's good, though, you know.
Well, I did just have a buddy who had a bachelor party. We roasted a whole pig, and part of his, bachelor checklist on the T-shirt was eating the pig's colon. He said it was delightful.
It is. What's the... Koen, help me out. It's Antoinette, Antui. There's a sausage.
Andouillette.
Thank you. Andouillette.
Yeah.
Entrails.
Andouillette is pretty gnarly,
if you
right?
cut it open, then you want to leave the room.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah,
well, that's what they always told us in anatomy. Like, don't cut that part.
Don't
just eat it.
Don't cut it open. Just eat it.
Don't bite it.
So I almost ordered it once, and I didn't. I moved on to something else. And the French people I was with, they were just letting me do my thing, right? And when I didn't order it, they were like, "You dodged a bullet, man." Because I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people like that andouillette, but it literally tastes like poop.
It is poop.
Yeah. I wonder why.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, I'm glad you guys were going to let me order that.
Oh.
Well,
yeah. Anyway.
It would have gone along, though, with the whole, really stinky cheese and sour beer. And is it that far removed from these things?
It's not, except stinky cheese is, it's bacteria. It's not poop.
It's fermented.
It's fermented. Thank you. It's very normal.
I see.
Andouillette is not fermented.
No. I mean, it was maybe inside.
Yeah. Beyond fermentation.
Yeah.
So people have just...
Fermentation is not going to help that.
No.
People have developed a taste for poop, then.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, French people.
French people are very strange.
Ooh.
I mean, they still eat snails,
Delicacy.
Although it's a weird thing, like even with... I talked to them about the snails thing. I got to ask about this stuff. They don't like snails either. They like the sauce.
The garlic sauce?
Yeah.
Escargots, but that is great.
Yes.
Of course.
But they don't even like... But I say to them, well, then why not just eat the fucking sauce?
Right.
Why do you have to put an insect in it?
On some shrimp.
And they all admit, they're like, yeah, it's not the escargot. It's the sauce. Well, then put something else in there, like a noodle.
Yeah.
It's also the texture.
Yeah.
I really like it.
You like it?
Yeah. With a stout, it's great.
Really?
I like it.
It's one of the only foods I haven't tried when I go there. Because I'll try almost anything, but there's something about it.
Really?
It's a little snail.
Slug.
It's a slug. I don't even like looking at it.
No, you don't look at it.
You just eat it.
Yeah.
But you could get clams and shrimp.
Yeah, it's like seafood.
Yeah, I don't eat that either.
Well,
no.
you've had, crayfish, crawdads.
Yeah.
It's
basically the snail of the sea.
Exactly.
Well, it sounds like none of it matters. You just drown it in sauce.
Yeah.
It's like, how good of a barbecue joint do you have to run if you have the best sauce in the world? All your meat can be mediocre.
Right. That's my point. Put something good in there instead, like charcuterie. Cover that in sauce.
Yeah. Garlic sauce is an apology for whatever it is you're slathering it.
Well, yeah, when you're eating, glands and things.
Glands, yeah. Large glands.
Yeah. Like,
all right.
Like JP's
thyroid.
Thyroid. All right, we got a lot to do today, so I'm sorry to hold you up there. I want to talk about my trip a little bit. It was a good time. We'll bring it up again, and we'll try some beer a little bit later on. But in the meantime, don't forget that today's show is brought to you by our good friends over at More Beer. You can go to morebeer.com right now and check them out. They've been sponsoring this show since before we ever started, since it was in my garage. And they're still sponsoring the show now that we're here at the Hop Grenade, so we want to thank them. Go check them out at morebeer.com. Today, like I told you, we've got Shoe Bros Brewery in here. Mike's in the studio. Local San Ramon brewery, right?
Yep,
Love
San
it.
Ramon.
Nice to see more East Bay breweries out here.
We're glad to be here.
The East Bay is growing up in the beer scene, aren't we?
We really have, and that's why we started here. Was nothing.
Right. It's getting exciting out here. We're becoming a beer destination.
Yeah, San Ramon's getting exciting.
Well, the East Bay as a whole.
I wouldn't go that far.
Right.
It's
Neither would I.
East Bay, it's kind of grown out of Oakland.
Yeah.
It's like Oakland, San Francisco got all this attention, and now coming over the hill.
A little bit for us.
Just like the fog.
That's right.
We get it every once in a while.
And then we've got Koen from 100 different breweries in Belgium. Right?
Yeah.
Is that about right?
Yeah.
Oh, what do you mean, Justin? You can't get it straight? What's wrong?
And Mike and Koen did actually more than one. They did several collaboration beers together, so we're going to learn about those today. They've done some here in California, and they've done some in Belgium, so we're going to talk about that with the guys. And we've got Shoe Bros beer on tap right now, so you can come on out to the Hop Grenade and try it if you want, and enjoy the show with us. You can watch through the fishbowl window thing where everyone stares at us.
Currently drinking the 680 IPA.
Nice.
It is delightful, named after a local freeway.
Homage to our freeway. I like 680. It's got to be one of the fastest freeways in America.
Unless it isn't at like 5 on a Friday.
Well, that's true. I just mean that nobody pays attention to the speed limit on
generally,
680.
oh, I see, yes.
And the cops will pass you right. You go on 75, cop will drive right by it.
You're
They
right.
don't care.
Yep.
80 seems to be the speed limit on 680.
Yeah, you got like, hey, dude, you got like a couple of inches.
Yeah.
Bring it up.
Once a year, the cops will do a thing where they slow everybody down. It's like 680 day, and they all go out and they pull you over. I read about it in the paper. They pull you over. That's the thing to slow everybody down. And a week later, we're all doing 80 again. I'm right, Mike?
Yeah, but that week.
Right.
It's a slow week.
It's a slow
straight days.
It's the end of the month when they don't have quotas.
Yeah.
But they have quotas.
Yeah, exactly right.
But they're putting it out that they have to slow everybody down. It's a public safety thing.
To protect and serve.
Near the end of the month when I need to fill my quota.
That's right.
It's like, hey, we're trying.
We're busy, but
Just
letting you know we know. We're not really watching, but we know. All right, we got a lot of things to do, so let's get to it. A few announcements I got to let you know about. Our Indiegogo campaign is still going to bring us to Australia. That's right, we're raising money to get the brewcasters to Australia for the Australian National Homebrewers Conference. Some of us already have tickets, but we're trying to get the rest going, so you can contribute there, and you get cool stuff for it. I looked at the statistics on our Indiegogo campaign. Right now, there are more Americans who are not going to Australia for the conference, donating to the campaign to get us to Australia.
Really?
Than there are Australians.
You know where each donation comes from?
You can see, yeah, sure.
Huh.
You can see where it comes from, yeah.
What is it? Is it like, 60-40? I mean, how big
More.
a disparity? Wow, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I'm calling you out, Australians, that we are trying to invade your country, and you're slacking a little bit on getting us there. That's all I'm saying. Now, you get, at different levels, you get hats and T-shirts. We made a special hop grenade just for the Australians. We put that shitty-looking Australian flag on it. You seen that thing?
I thought it was the British flag.
Well, it sort of is. It's got some other stuff on it, so it's a little different.
We took our
turn it upside down.
We did.
And spin it the other way.
We took that beautiful hop grenade of ours, and we put your flag all over it. That's one of the levels. You can get our Hop Grenade double-walled stainless steel growlers at one of the levels. You can get the Firestone Walker Pale 31 instructional DVD at one of the levels. I think we just added beanies. You can get a shout-out right here on the session. You tell me what to say, and I will say it.
I think, can't you tell anybody what to say? You can, assign it to anybody,
That's
right?
You can say, I want to hear Doc say whatever. You can.
Oh, I'm involved in this?
You can pay for that.
I thought we were just make you say it.
No, if whoever they want. So,
if Sugar Valley Brewer has not taken advantage of that and make Bevo say, use your imagination, and we know it's a fertile one, Sugar Valley. You can have her say anything you want, and then you can record it and put it on a loop and fall asleep to it.
That's right. Every night of your life.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Hey, wait a minute,
Moscow.
I might want to
Tasty wants in.
I just say.
Yeah. Yes, Susie Q.
Don't give Sugar Valley Brewer any more ideas.
No idea.
Oh, actually, for Susie too.
No.
Yeah, good. Hey, that's a great point. Hey, have
Susie can say it.
Have Susie and Bevo speak at this. Maybe do a little threesome,
Scissoring.
if you will. Yeah.
Susie and Bevo do a threesome. There's only two of us.
Whatever.
We're worse at math.
Sugar Valley.
Where's Sugar Valley?
Hello. Got to have the guy. Okay.
All right. So contribute to the Indiegogo campaign. You can get there on our homepage. It's right there on the On Tap tab. And look, we'd appreciate it. I know I'm messing with you guys, but it'd be fun to get more of the brewcasters out there. We can get more content and meet more Australians. And we just think that'd be a good time. So give us a hand if you got any cash. That'd be cool. We're going to be going to the Great American Beer Festival again, as always, and streaming the awards ceremony like we always do. You can go to thebrewingnetwork.com/TV and watch the awards. That's coming up in October, of course. I'm just giving you the heads up, letting you know we'll be there. Do both of your breweries enter the... I guess you can't enter the... Yeah, no, international beers
Koen's
can't.
not American.
That's right. It's only American beers. The World Beer Cup is the one that international. Do you enter that, Koen?
No.
You haven't done that yet. Shoe Bros, you entering?
We did not do it this year.
Okay, all right.
I'm a profound slacker.
Have you?
It's become hard to get into now too.
They actually changed it to an application process.
Oh,
when you let that application process deadline.
I was going to do it the last night, as
of course,
like you would do in college, right?
Sure. Right, yeah.
And
take some Adderall.
Turns out it shuts off at 5:00 Central Time.
Oh,
not at midnight.
We're not Central Time.
Yeah, so I missed it by about 2 hours.
Did you try last year and get shut out like a lot of breweries?
No,
did?
I got in last
year.
year.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. All right, well, we'll be there, and we'll bring the awards home to you. Don't forget to shop on Amazon to help us out. It's just a way to do your normal thing. You shop as usual. You just click the Amazon link on our homepage, and then we get a little piece of the action. It's just an easy way to help us out. Do we have an Amazon product of the week?
Yes, it's a good one this week. It's an easy one. It is American Sour Beers by Michael Townsmeyer.
Oh, yeah.
And there were no less than 7 copies bought. We made 93 cents per book. And it's just a great win-win for Mike. It's a good win for us.
Awesome.
And for Sour Beer Brewing, and it's also a good time to mention the Sour Show that we did with Jay Goodwin while you were gone, Jay.
Oh, yeah. How'd it go?
It went really well, and Michael was the guest, and perhaps people heard him there, or perhaps they were just buying it anyway. But either way, good on you. And keep it up.
Excellent. We'll have that show up as soon as possible. I just got back, so I'll get the podcast going for the Sour Hour as soon as I can. Subscribe and join the BN Army. It gives you our newsletter. It gives us a little cash. It makes you an awesome person. Just hit the donate button to do that. All these updates and more over on Twitter and Facebook. Send your show ideas over to Scott the Jew. That's Scott@thebrewingnetwork.com. And send your feedback to feedback at thebrewingnetwork.com.
We're going to get feedback?
We are, but not now.
No, of course not.
As soon as you leave, Doc, and we're all over it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
When do you have to go?
I'm not leaving.
Oh,
good. Doc's with us tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Doc, you're going to be pleased to find out that Koen just got back from Burning Man as well. Doc brought me for my first time. Are you sure?
No. Hell no.
So we'll probably end up doing some Burning Man talk later in the program as well.
Oh, yeah. I got stories.
All right. Well, how about this? Let's take a quick break. We'll refill our beers. 888-401-BEER. That's our phone number, 888-401-BEER. Bevo's on vacation, so Susie Q is in there taking your questions. You can also join the chat room. Hit the chat button on the homepage. It's The Session, live from the Hop Grenade. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
Do you like beer? They make beer.
Watch out!
Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun.
Watch out!
Do you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring
Monk's Blood.
Made with real monk.
Watch out!
So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of
Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zainashev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
Are you a member of the American Homebrewers Association? Well, you should be. Members of the AHA can focus on brewing beer, and the AHA takes care of the rest. The American Homebrewers Association advocates on behalf of homebrewers like you to legalize the hobby in all 50 states and make sure that beer laws make sense. Plus, there are many great benefits that come with your AHA membership, like pub discounts that give you awesome deals at bars, restaurants, breweries, and more. Zymergy Magazine and eZymergy for tons of articles, how-tos, easy-to-follow recipes, and news about the hobby you love. And access to the members-only content on homebrewersassociation.org. But the AHA can't do it without your support. Join today so the American Homebrewers Association can keep fighting for your home brewing rights. Visit homebrewersassociation.org or join right now from the homepage of the Brewing Network website. Relax. Don't worry. It's the American Homebrewers Association.
Hi, I'm Jamel Zanishev, and in addition to my work on the Brewing Network, I write the Style Profile column in every issue of Brew Your Own magazine.
Hi, I'm Sean Paxton, and when I'm not prepping for the Homebrewed Chef on the Brewing Network, you can find me writing articles on how to cook with your homebrew for Brew Your Own magazine.
Greetings, cretins. This is John Palmer, and when I'm not writing for Brew Your Own, I'm reading it.
John Palmer, Sean Paxton, Jamil Zanishev. If you love listening to them on the Brewing Network, you'll love reading their articles, tips, and recipes in the pages of Brew Your Own magazine. Join Jamil, John, and Sean 8 times a year in Brew Your Own. And when you subscribe to BYO on the Brewing Network website, half of your subscription price goes right back to the BN to support great beer and food programming. So sign up for Brew Your Own magazine through the BN website today so you can listen and read your way to better homebrew.
Hi, I'm Jason Harris, the proud owner here at Keystone Homebrew Supply. We're thrilled to be entering our 20th year of supplying this great industry. And to show you, the Brewing Network Army, how much we appreciate your support, we're offering you 10% off your first order on our website, KeystoneHomebrew.com. Just use coupon code BNARMY at checkout, and I'll get your order out the same day. My goal at Keystone Homebrew Supply has always been to have a complete supply of everything a brewer could want. When you place your order online or when you come into our store, it's our goal to have everything on your list and more. One aspect of KeystoneHomebrew.com that we're really excited about is the ability to fulfill customers' exact grain bills. Do you hate to wait? Keystone Homebrew Supply can get your precious yeast and hops to you within just one day if you live between Connecticut and Virginia, and within 2 days east of the Mississippi. KeystoneHomebrew.com. Coupon code BNARMY. I'm Jason Harris, and I approve this message.
Tuned into this session because life's too short to listen to crappy radio.
All right. Welcome back to the program. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We're live here from the Hop Grenade. You can call us at 888-401-BEER if you want to ask questions. Susie Q's over there taking your phone calls. Or you can hit the Chat Now button on the homepage, and that's how you can do it, too. We're about to talk to two gentlemen who have started doing some collaboration beers between the U.S. of A. and Belgium. And I think I'm having one of the collaboration beers now, the Belgian Triple that we have on tap. What's this beer called, Mike?
The
Belial.
Belial.
My pronunciation.
Did you brew this one here or in Belgium?
This one was brewed here in San Ramon.
Okay. Now, if I have this right, you guys will brew the same beer once in Belgium and then come here and brew it again, or are they always different?
Yeah, we'll brew it both places.
Okay, so one beer, both places, basically. Okay, cool.
So we brewed, at first I went to Belgium, and we brewed the original Sin at Roslande.
Okay.
And then we decided to brew a separate beer here, and so we'll kind of stagger them as we go. So
how did you guys meet? How did this happen between the two of you?
So we have a Passport series, if you're familiar with it. But it's basically a series of beers that we try to replicate classic styles throughout the world.
Okay.
It's the Passport. So we do 4 a year, and we did one named Albeke, which was a Belgian Golden Strong, kind of an homage to it. And we sent out a tweet for our launch, and it got picked up by a newspaper person.
Okay. Now, when you say we, we're talking about just Shoe Bros.
Okay. Just Shoe Bros.
Okay.
So Koen isn't in the picture yet.
Okay.
So it got picked up by the newspaper in Kortrijk. And Ian, one of my business partners, he picked up, reached out to the mayor of San Ramon, who reached out to the mayor of Kortrijk.
Oh, wow.
And I believe that's how he ended up scheduling a trip out to Belgium to try to meet the mayor. And
the mayor did.
The mayor.
The mayor's cashing in on your idea.
No, sorry. So Ian from the brewery set up to meet the mayor
I see. Okay.
of Belgium.
Got it.
And to, meet some brewers, and I think he reached out to Koen at that point.
Okay.
And so that's where Koen falls into the story.
Okay.
Yeah, well, apparently I have an importer here in San Francisco who imports my Seven Sins.
Ah.
And apparently Ian tasted one of my Seven Sin beers, Gula, the gluttony version.
Yep.
And he liked it, and he just sent me a mail like, I'm going to Kortrijk, the village where I will present my Albeke, which is a small village into the big town.
Okay.
And I said, well, let's meet. I picked him up at the airport. We hang out some days, and we had some beers, of course, and we talked about let's make the Albeke in Belgium, and I can maybe make some beer in San Ramon. And then we talked about maybe we make a collateral beer. Some weeks later, Mike was shipped or came over.
Right. Yeah, was exported.
Yeah, exactly. I had about a week's notice to buy a ticket.
Oh, is that right?
It's like, so you're going to Belgium for your birthday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
nice.
Mike came over. He made the Albeke in Kortrijk.
Okay.
And during that brew day, we discussed the new recipe to be made, and then we decided to call it Original Sin, made in Belgium. And then I decided to come and combine that with the Burning Man trip.
Oh, yeah.
Which I got a last-minute ticket from a friend.
Were you planning on doing the Burning Man anyway, or you just thought, now...
I couldn't get a ticket like most people.
Yeah.
But since I had been there 4 times, it was not that essential to come.
Okay.
But at the end, I got, on a very special way, a ticket to get in, but maybe we can get to that later.
You jumped the fence, didn't you?
No. My friends, they were the company who built the souk around the man, the tents.
Oh, okay.
So that was Belgian made, and I was there actually to put up the tents for some days. So
that's cool.
I did some work on the man.
Well,
not on the man, but next to the man.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was here also. Well, we want to make like the Original Sin here in San Ramon with the same ingredients. But it will be called Erfzonde and not Original Sin. But in Belgium it's called Original Sin Erfzonde. Here it will be called Erfzonde Original Sin.
Okay.
Because water is different and brewing installation and so on. So
got it. Okay. So this is a great idea. For one, you guys get to share ideas and breweries. But obviously, I mean, it's a bonus that you get to travel with this whole deal, right? You get to go learn about each other, the countries.
Mike didn't seem so thrilled about it.
It's great. I just hate the flight.
The flight's kind of a drag.
The whole cattle car.
Yeah.
You're a tall guy like me.
Yeah.
It's pretty miserable sitting on an airplane seat.
Yeah,
it is.
That's why being little.
Yeah, it is. I guess because, guys like Doc and I, who are of average height, thank you, don't have the issue. Like, for me, a long flight, you got to do 11 hours. It's not fun, but it's like...
I can move around in that seat. I can stretch. I can move back, Well,
I was so lucky. I got an exit next to the emergency exit, so
nice.
I could dance.
Yeah. I got that on the way out, too.
The thing is, you don't speak English so well, and you got my life in your hands when that plane goes down. You better have read that goddamn pamphlet.
No, he's too tired out from dancing.
Listen, everybody's dead if you need that emergency exit. In the history of flight, has the emergency exit ever done anybody any good?
Yes.
It did?
When they went in the Hudson River.
Okay, that's true. When Sully piloted it to a landing.
Yeah.
Okay, one time. I stand corrected. Yeah, I got the exit row on the way out this time. You need better drugs, Mike.
That's no better.
Right. I just drink a lot and then take a sleeping pill or whatever.
That's what I'm getting at, right? Like, it's so worth it because of what you get to experience. And there's 11 hours. It sucks, but it's like it's over so quick, and then you're in Belgium.
Yeah.
I didn't say it wasn't worth it.
Okay.
I just said it sucked on the way over there.
Just making sure. Okay.
What are you, 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tall guy.
Same as me.
You just buy a tax-free bottle of gin and you ordered all my tonics.
There you go.
That's right.
But I almost missed my flight in Copenhagen because I fell asleep.
I will fly to Amsterdam, so it's 12 hours. I can fall asleep in Amsterdam.
It would be I'll tell you what, it would be a funny podcast just to get brewers together and talk about their travel tips and how they deal with the flight. Because I bet that everyone's got like a recipe, right? Like, I have 3 Duvals and a sleeping pill. Like everyone's got their cocktail to get them through the flight.
Yeah, and whether they have to like stop in like St. Louis or New York, and that's when they hit that 3rd Duval.
That's right. You got to time it right. Anyway, so once you get there, it's great, though. You get to brew together. It's a whole new... Had you been to Belgium before, Mike?
Yeah, I'd been to Belgium 2005.
Okay.
And just kind of toured around, putzed around, visited some breweries.
Now, let's talk about ingredients for the beer, right? Because you had already made this beer here. It gets the write-up. Now you go to Belgium to brew it. Can you get the same ingredients?
We've noticed there's a pretty big discrepancy in what you get and what you can get. My biggest surprise was the limited ingredients that I could get in Belgium. You think Belgium, beer, they got to have just an abundance of ingredients. Not so much.
You mean by the variety is what they don't have.
The variety, they don't have the brands. They don't have... I mean, they have some... you can get Dingemans and Castle.
Okay.
Apart from that...
For malt.
Yeah. And other than that,
that's what you got.
Wireman?
Okay.
Wireman, yes.
Wireman, too. All right.
But, yeah, we had originally talked about brewing 680 there, and there was no way that we could get what we needed.
That's your IPA.
That's our flagship IPA.
Okay. All right. So you have to make some adjustments to the recipe then.
Yeah. Okay. So we ended up not brewing the 680, but we brewed the Albeke.
Okay.
Using, I guess more traditional Belgian ingredients, trying to authenticate the real Belgian flavor.
Okay.
So
it's a bit of a curveball, but to me that also sounds like fun because now you get to use new and authentic Belgian ingredients.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And so you get to pick Koen's brain a little bit, and and so like, hey, what do you think of this? And substitute this.
Right.
So it's a good learning experience. It's obviously every brewer wants to go to Belgium and brew in a Belgian brewery.
Of course.
So
bucket list right there.
Yeah.
What about hops?
Hops, same thing.
Okay.
I was surprised by some of the hops they have, but again, they don't have, I guess, the craft beer where they're not doing these big hop bombs.
Okay.
So it's not, the big hoppy beers aren't as popular there yet. They're getting there.
Yeah.
So hops are a little bit more scarce. Most of them are a whole leaf. We were for the original Sin in Belgium. We managed to get some Simcoe and some Citra.
Okay.
I did bring some hops with me.
Nice. Just in the suitcase?
In the suitcase.
Yeah.
It's not refrigerated for a day, but
that's
as soon as
all right.
I get there, throw them in.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not illegal, right? You can bring hops over. I'm pretty sure it's fine.
I certainly hope so.
As
I
long
put a
as
note
it-
on there that said
hops, right?
These are hops.
Yeah. Because you're worried about the drug sniffing dog.
But you brought pallets. I brought the whole flowers, which is even weird looking.
Oh, yeah. It looks like little buds, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. So I'm told. Yeah.
Well, you could hide your pot in the middle of your hop.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. It's
I
a good
put a
idea.
big note on mine that said, these are hops. If you open them, please seal them tightly.
Yeah.
Call me if you have questions.
Yeah. When I came back here, and we're standing at, we had already gone through customs, and we're standing at the baggage claim, and they had their little fucking beagle going around smelling all our bags. And I had a bunch of sausage in my bag, which is the thing. They'll take that away.
The 90-minute plate?
Yeah. That's right. I had the whole plate in
You
my
had pocket stuff, didn't you?
Luckily, the beagle apparently was only looking for drugs because it did not care about my sausages.
Yeah, it's not the big German Shepherd dog.
No.
It's this cute little beagle
Yeah.
or a little schnauzer or
That's
something.
what they are now.
Hi.
Yeah.
Really, with the big floppy ears?
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
the little squat?
There's the ones that can jump up on top of
Really?
all the luggage.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Little beagle.
It's not your big German Shepherd dog by any means. It's that, look at the kid dog. Oh, why is he at my luggage?
It's a sweet little dog now with its nose in your bags.
Isn't it amazing how well they have those things trained? They go right by the sausage.
Yeah.
And how contrary that must be to the dog's brain.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's amazing.
Too. I was like, whether he's looking for it or not, he is going to find my sausage.
Well, it's probably that's not a bomb dog, and he probably went right past the bomb too.
Yeah, that's right. That's absolutely right. Anyway, all right. Now, do you use American hops, Koen, in your Belgian beers?
For my Seven Sins lines, never.
You don't?
No,
Okay.
No. Because I stick to the Belgian style,
Okay.
quadruple style.
So what are some common Belgian hops that you use?
Can I tell?
Can you?
Well, it's up to you.
Well, we use some Northern brewers, some Goldings, some other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you age them?
Now, why is it secretive? Because they're hard. You don't want other people to buy them all up?
Or they're not Belgian hops?
Yes, they are all Belgian hops. That's because our
Are you
beers...
saying they're grown in Belgium? Or I consider those to be more like...
exactly.
Well,
they're not...
European varieties.
We use we need all the big breweries need more hops than we can produce.
Okay.
But what we use are 100% Belgian hops for our beers. That's why we get the label Belgian hops on it.
Okay.
Belgian,
So they're grown in Belgium.
Yes. You have two spaces like it's Poperinge and Aalst, but all our hops are coming from Poperinge.
So do you age them? Do you use them?
No.
Like we do, like pretty fresh, or do you?
No, we don't age them on purpose, and they are aged actually to make like the sour stuff, like the Heuze beers and that, because they don't want the bitterness in it. But we will not age it. No.
Okay.
And are they pelletized?
We get flowers and we get pellets as well.
Each?
Yeah. We used sapphire for a lot of it for our original sin.
Okay.
And that were pellets. No, that were flowers, which was a bit hard because we need them in the dry hopping process, but it was very hard to take them out again, and it was an adventure.
They soak up a lot. They soak up a lot.
Yeah, and they take a lot of space in your luggage. And since I brought like 4 kilo of it, it was like half.
So you brought a T-shirt and some shorts, and then 4 kilos of flower hops,
and 1 tutu.
Yeah, that's what you need a tutu. It's Burning Man.
Have they always grown hops in Belgium, or is that a new thing? They always have.
Yeah.
Are there a wide variety of temperature zones in Belgium?
No.
No, it's just
no.
So what is it like?
If you would see Belgium, it fits probably 10 times in California.
Yeah. Yep.
It's 200 miles like this and 200 like that.
So what is the temperature like then? It's conducive to hop growing, I guess.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah.
We have like average summers, normally freezing winters, but that last winter was really warm. And I know now that for this hop year, they had like hail during the flowering process, and maybe 50% will be damaged and lost.
I bet.
Yeah, so it's a big problem. But it's really expensive to build a new hop field, and a lot of farmers are just quitting. So maybe in 20, 30 years it will be finished with it.
Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Just quitting, you say, the farmers?
No. If they are too old and they fall dead in their
retiring.
Fields.
Okay,
retiring
or dying.
No, well, I don't think a farmer retires. I think he stays until his field
until he dies. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and if there's nobody to take your place, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's learn about this beer right here. Tell us about the beer in our glass, if you would.
So this is the American collaboration that Koen and I brewed, and it's a triple. So we used. We tried to use pretty close to a traditional triple recipe.
Okay.
In Belgium, and then we did a nice little dry hop on the end to add a nice American characteristic to it.
Did you change your yeast from what you might normally use with Koen coming over?
Absolutely, yeah.
You did?
So we did use a Belgian strain.
Okay.
So
Excellent.
It has that nice ester profile to it.
Yeah.
Which strain?
It does.
And speaking of esters, for me, this is like, since it has so much alcohol, it lends more to a quadruple than a triple, actually. This reminds me a lot about La Trop and stuff like that. The quadruple La Trop.
Now, when you say that, do you mean the flavor or literally just how much alcohol is in it?
The flavor.
It also tastes like a quad.
Yeah.
To me, it's like a Pyrat. It's got 10.5% alcohol-ish, and the color's the same. It's got about the same bitterness.
Mm-hmm. Is that a compliment?
Yes, it is.
Good question.
It was the first Belgian beer I ever cloned. Was that?
Oh, okay.
And
nice.
Yeah, it's.
I like the esters
really
in this
nice.
beer.
Yeah.
I think you chose a good yeast. Is there an equivalent yeast strain that we know about as homebrewers? Maybe.
What was the strain? Did we hear that?
No.
He looked at me funny, like I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, really? It's another secret.
No, it's
please
a T58. It's a dry yeast strain.
Okay, got it. I like this beer.
Yeah.
Koen likes secrets.
Koen, not a fan of the info.
Yeah.
I share info with the guys I'm brewing with, but all the rest doesn't have to.
And then I open my mouth.
Right.
God damn it.
We look at it this way: that you can give us the secrets. We're not going to be able to do the same
I know,
thing.
I know.
You're worried about the guys over there in Belgium, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I don't care.
You don't care either
Then
way.
tell us the secrets.
They're not secrets.
No.
They're not secrets. I just don't want to tell
It's
you.
just entrained knowledge.
But we're going to transcribe this entire show in Flemish, just so you know. We do it in 40 different languages. So
Yeah, well, good luck with the Flemish because we have like a lot of different varieties of Flemish.
Oh, God,
we know them all.
So we have
of course. Yeah.
As if French isn't hard enough, then the Flemish comes in. Oh.
So we have a new game. What the Flemish guys say.
Right. It's a game that never ends.
Yeah.
I like this triple a lot.
Thank you.
I think it's a nice beer. It finishes nice and dry. I'm not usually a big fan of esters, actually. That's what will turn me away from a Belgian beer. But in this one, I think it comes out really nicely.
Yeah, and wanted the esters there to help balance some of the alcohol. Because there is a boozy character to it. Which we incorporated in there on purpose to lend it a little bit of that triple style.
Oh, thank you
wanted
for that.
a little of that
Thank you.
alcohol heat. Not overpowering, but it's there.
Okay.
And then the esters balance out the.
Why do you say that, Doc? Thanks.
Thank you.
The boozy part.
I love that part.
You do.
He's pushing the part where it's alcohol-y, but they hide it.
Okay.
They hide it really well.
Yeah.
It's not hiding it between a whole bunch of hop bitterness or a bunch of sweetness. It's just a really well-made beer.
It's blended in with the yeast.
It just all blends really well together. The alcohol sweetness goes along well with the Belgian character.
Okay.
And you don't know how boozy this beer is, and
a good thing I rode
really
my
well.
bike.
It's why it's really well made. If you make it just this booze bomb, everybody can tell.
Yeah. And then who wants to drink that anyway? You might as well drink liquor. then.
Yeah, well,
That's
you'll find people that want to drink it, but they won't appreciate it. This thing is
it's nice.
This thing is well rounded and it's boozy, but unless you know, you hide it really well.
Do you think the sweet boozy part would be more accentuated if it weren't for the dry hop? Is that quelling it a little bit?
Well, yeah, you got to kind of back bitter it a little bit with the hops that you got in there. But it's the Belgian strain that you have in there. That's going to give it this kind of back sweetness, which rides with the ethanol sweetness.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, it's supposed to taste like that.
Now,
and that's one of the things we were trying to do was, okay, how are we going to layer these flavors? We knew we were going to dry hop it,
right?
And we didn't want a one-dimensional beer, so we knew, a little bit of the malt sweetness in there, the alcohol, a little bit of the burn, but still you have the hop aroma, the ester profile.
There's three kinds of sweetness in this thing, and that's what helps hide it.
Okay,
you're going to get it from the yeast, you're going to get it from the malt, and you're going to get it from the alcohol, and that's that layer, and that's why you can't tell
that I'm going to get drunk.
Yeah.
Now, the dry hop part, that's not a traditional thing to do to a Belgian triple, is it? No. So what was the point there?
Just to lend our own kind of West Coast perspective on it.
Okay.
It is a collaboration beer. I didn't want to do a Belgian beer in America.
Okay, yeah.
I wanted to actually be a collaboration.
Mm-hmm. Now, give me something to work with, like a comparison. So the dry hop you might put in your IPA. What's the quantity of dry hop in this one compared to that? Are we talking half that?
About half.
Okay. Because you got to go a little less.
You got to go a little bit less, but then you also have to take into account that there's a lot going on in this beer.
Mm-hmm.
And so you need it to stand out enough that it supports the malt, the alcohol, everything else.
You also want to taste it, otherwise why do it?
Exactly.
Okay.
But
just enough to...
You need enough to be there, but you don't want it to be overpowering any of the other components.
What kind of hop was the dry hop?
It was a Santium.
Oh, yeah. Nathan Smith, our own Nathan Smith, has taught us about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's a nice little hop.
Yeah, okay.
Did you compensate on the front? I know you said it was a traditional Belgian triple recipe, so you didn't compensate on the front end knowing you were going to dry hop?
What do you mean?
Well, like, make it maybe sweeter than you would have, like more malt, because there's going to be hops at the end.
Oh, yeah. Like, would you build the malt backbone because you're going to add hops to it?
No, I think we kind of took that.
Yeah, it took us a long time to discuss how we wanted it. So we talked about it a lot. So
Yeah, the
But
French
will be
people
the
like to
design.
talk a lot. The Belgians talk a lot. You have to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, it was nice when we were in Belgium. Koen had some West Fluttering, so it was like, okay, let's talk some more.
Yeah.
Keep them coming, and we'll talk some more.
Well, I make fun of you, but I'm actually interested in that part because when two brewers come together, you got to figure out what the hell you want to do, right?
Yeah, but it went automatically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you guys picked a good style if you wanted to, hop it at the end. Triple is usually more bitter, more bitter than I like, and usually I get knocked down because I don't want to bitter it enough. And you've got that Belgian style. It's well within the whole ramifications of a triple.
It
really is. So you had some leeway there.
So how did
Really
the
good.
discussions go? Tell me about that. You sit down, you got to talk a lot about this beer. You just what parts do you really have to focus on?
Well, we just brainstorm what will be used, this or that, what yeast, and we discuss the possibilities, and then at the end there is something on that white paper.
Then which is probably a napkin.
And then, we got to actually take a picture of it, and then when we sober up, we'll go back and we'll try and figure out what we wrote.
Yeah, and one of you goes, "Man, you were drunk. That's a stupid idea."
This is horrible.
Yeah.
What were we thinking?
Was that a 2 or a 5? Let's make it a 5.
Right. Is there worry when you okay, now it's brew day, all right? You've planned, you have your recipe, and for you, let's talk about Belgium, for example. So it's not your system. You obviously you trust in Koen, but is there worry that you're going, I wouldn't have put that much malt in on my system, or I wouldn't have. You see what I'm getting at? It's different, right?
There's definitely a little bit of apprehension going onto another system that their process is different, the way they approach different, and that's why we wanted to do the collaboration, is to learn, okay, what are the Belgians doing?
Yeah.
How are they doing? What are their techniques?
Yeah.
It's very much espionage, if you will.
Sure.
They know
Except it's allowed.
Yeah, granted,
it's allowed.
granted. That
yeah.
was granted.
Yeah. It's what you're there to do.
Yeah. But
Okay.
it's really about learning, and it's understanding and taking my knowledge and trying to convert it to Flemish.
Yeah.
And try to speak to Koen, like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
I don't want to do it that way.
Well, that was my next question. Is there, and I'd like an example if you have one, but is there a point in the process where you go, what the fuck are you doing that for?
Or how about no?
All the time, actually.
Yeah, no. Do you have any examples off the top of your head about that where you go,
How about no? I'm not doing it that way. No way.
Yeah,
When
I
washing,
think one was when we were lautering. They like to spin their rakes the whole time they're lautering, and my brew house, I don't need to spin the rakes when I lauter. I'm like, let's try an experiment. All right, let's try not spinning the rakes.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Until we need to. If we get stuck, we'll spin the rakes.
Okay.
So that was one.
Okay. And Koen, when he says that, are you thinking, why would I do that?
I think to myself, if he turns around, I just do one.
Which I think he probably did.
It's going to hit the button.
I just flip that switch and maybe.
Yeah, hey, Michael, why don't you go get us a baguette or something?
There is West Flittering over there. Give me bring us a bottle.
Right. Okay.
What is the reasoning there? That seems like a big deal. Like, why didn't you want to spin them, other than that you were used to doing that?
At least on my brew house, I find that a good extraction, and then if I spin the rakes, I need to loosen the bed, and it tends to disturb it, so I need to re-boil off. So I was like, okay, well, I don't need to do it.
Yeah,
I trust them on their system, but let's try it. And my idea is, okay, you're cutting the bed, you're creating a channel for the water to flow through.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get as good of extraction.
Okay.
And so that was it was a discussion about extraction and efficiency.
Now, the interesting thing to me about that is efficiency and extraction is such an important thing to your numbers. So now you've calculated the recipe the way this man uses his system. And now you're telling him to use it a different way right in the middle of the process, right? Did the numbers come out different because of it? Or did you get the same extraction anyway?
It was a good extraction.
It was it was still good.
So have you changed your method then?
No.
Back to the same.
Okay, when you're in your kitchen, you're fine. When you're in your kitchen, it's a whole different thing.
Everyone's stove's different.
But you see what I'm getting at, Tasty, right? Like, that's a big thing to change, I think.
It is. But what about the runoff clarity? Didn't that affect that by running the rakes?
In Belgium, no problem with.
Well, they're looking fast.
Even running the rakes.
beers that are ultimately aren't going to be clear, right?
Well,
Most
they
of the
do
beers?
come out fairly clear.
Okay.
So the runoff was clear. You still because you were just doing the top level of the grain bit in terms of the rakes.
They were fairly decent cuts.
Yeah, but you don't cut fast. You cut very slowly. If you
So
would
it's
be
a
like,
really slow movement.
Okay.
I see.
And that's just how you've always done it, Koen? Yeah.
On that installation, yes.
Yeah.
But in San Ramon, it's different.
No. No rakes.
No rakes, baby.
But this stuff's really interesting to me. And now, to the outside world, that seems like a tiny thing. But if I'm thinking like a brewer, it's a big deal. I like to hear this stuff.
And it's one of those things you got to make your day interesting. I mean, brewing it's still interesting, but it's like I want to challenge you on yours.
Sure. No, that's a good point too. Otherwise, you're kind of standing there for half the day.
Well, you're just brewing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't have something to discuss, then
yeah.
And so it's a nice intellectual debate. As
Okay,
well.
yeah. So. See, that's cool, and then you both get to learn stuff. Now, now you've also brewed here, obviously. Now,
Yeah.
Koen. How many brews have you done here in San Ramon?
Well, we did the Belay, so this one.
This one, yeah.
And then we have another project which is going on, which we'll call for this time the 4562, because that are like the coordinates of the world. We did like an average of San Ramon Kortrijk.
Okay.
And we came out in Costa Nova Scotia. So that is like a bit the project name. We still have to look which lake is the closest to that location.
Yeah.
And that it's not ready yet, so we cannot really go into details on how that
Not
tastes.
much to say about it. Okay.
More secrets.
Yeah. I will be back in December then we will have all the ingredients to make erwezonde, because now it is not possible yet to make it here.
Oh. Because we can't get all the Belgian ingredients we need?
Well, I brought some, but that was not enough, so I have to ship stuff and see. We ordered malt from the same company, but it was different because I use it all the time in Belgium, and when I saw the bags, I opened them, it was like, come on, this is not the same.
Yeah.
Although it says it's the same, so that is very strange to me.
That is strange.
Yeah.
It is.
So I will make now on Wednesday one beer of my recipe, like Mike made his Albike. I will make chocolate stout with some other stuff, vanilla, maybe coconut in it. It will be barrel aged for some months. And then I will be back in mid of December to release it. And then we will make the original sin, or the erwezonde, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do the beers that you make in each country make it to the other country? Will you send the beers that you make here back?
Well, since we had the original sin just ready for a beer festival in Zwevegem, and it was really good criticized there, so they loved it, and it was actually sold within 2 days afterwards.
Wow.
So there was nothing left to ship here. It would be very interesting to have like a box with the original sin, the erwezonde, and a glass which we developed for it.
Oh, yeah.
But that will be hard since it is dry hopped, and dry hopped beers sending over the ocean, it's not what they lose a lot of their character. So
sure. Okay. It still kind of amazes me that it's so easy to travel around. It's so difficult to get beer in different places.
Yeah.
But it's so heavy, it's still got to go on a boat.
It's still, exactly, and that's kind of what I mean, and it's still so expensive, and yes, the slow boat, which is why the dry hop beers will not hold up.
And the airplane, I don't know. It's with pressure, I don't know how beers are there in an airplane if they keep their quality.
Okay.
Well, and the weight factor probably makes it not cost efficient anyway. Like, how much can you really fly out on an airplane?
Yeah, but like you said, the Cantillon, it's very expensive as well, so why couldn't this be very expensive?
Yeah. Well, that's true. I don't know. I just think that it kind of boggles my mind that it's still so expensive and difficult to move things around.
Yeah. Why hasn't Elon Musk invented the teleporter already? I mean, for God's sake.
He's probably working on it.
Probably.
It bodes well for Drink Local, right?
Just short.
Well, yeah. And, of course, I love that part, too. But as the world gets smaller, so to speak, and we make friends, and you kind of want to be able to go, well, I'd love to get you our latest beer.
Yeah.
And it's such a difficult thing.
Because with the internet, now, everything feels like a one world order, except goods, right?
Yeah.
Especially heavy goods like beer.
It's just still where we are.
Well, it's a living product, so it doesn't stay the same.
Yeah. Which I guess is the thing we love about it as well. just makes it sort of difficult.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's fun to hear, and you're traveling back and forth a lot, it sounds like, if you're coming back 3 times for this beer. Something like that. You're here to brew it. I guess you did Burning Man 2. Then you're going to come back to release it, right?
Yeah, another one. So I will be back in December. So
back in December. Yeah, okay. Yeah, good for you.
He's an average-sized individual. He doesn't mind flying.
You don't have like a job at home where you got to be at? You have to, you got to show up and brew some beer?
Yeah, I do the 7 Sin stuff and then also the thing at Casamotten and Yper, so I am busy.
Yeah, I guess so, but you're still coming out here, spending some time. When I first got to Paris, it was still summer vacation. It was like the end of it. And you'd go to certain restaurants or shops. You know, when we go on vacation here, somebody still works, right?
Yeah.
You go there, you go to the shop, there's a sign on the door that says, I'll be back in a month. We're on vacation. I'll be back in a month. And this is normal. And everybody goes, oh, well, they're on vacation. And all I could think was, how the hell could you do that? Like, we would go out of business if we closed for a month. Most businesses here, right? If you go on vacation, somebody's at the brewery, right, Mike?
Yeah.
There's no, like, sign on the brewery door or, like, a message on your answering machine when your accounts call and they say, I'm in Belgium for 2 weeks. I'll call you when I get back.
Good luck with that.
They have to get through to somebody. But the French, they don't give a shit.
Koen's over here for 3 weeks. Come on.
Yeah, but it took a lot of planning.
What did your sign say?
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
All the tanks were full and stuff like that.
What did your sign on the door say?
Fuck off.
Fuck off, I'm gone. I'm in Concord.
Gone to Burning Man.
I took my door with me.
right. No, I'm sure it did take a lot of, and I think that for different businesses it's different. I don't mean to generalize. I did just find it interesting though that, and when I would talk to people about that, like that we can't do that, they just say, well, we just have a different view of your personal time. And no one cares. They're not going to hold it against your business if you're not there for 2 weeks. They think it's a normal thing for you to go do. Live your life for 2 weeks. Come back and make food when you get back, or whatever it is.
Yeah, after brewing with Koen, he goes drop me off. I'm like, is there anywhere I can get food? And he's like, nah, it's 8:30. Good luck.
Yeah.
There might be a bar where you can get some frites.
You're right.
No, I haven't eaten anything in a day and a half. Really, Koen?
That's what the beer's for. You'll be fine.
You got any relatives around here that I could have make me some sausages?
Yeah. They're on vacation.
You had like 3 West Vlietens. That's enough food.
Yeah, that'll fill you up, won't it? That's all you need. All right, let's do this. I need to take a quick break. And we need to get some more beer in our glass. And talk some more about the collaboration with these guys. So hang in there. It's The Session. We're live from the Hop Grenade. You can still come out and try the beer that's on tap. This triple is fantastic. I highly recommend it. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Hang in there.
You're listening to the Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
What'd you get? More brewing ingredients?
Yep. You know what I love about Brewmaster's Warehouse?
The $6.99 shipping?
Well, yeah, but...
Oh, the in-store classes for beginning brewers.
Yeah, that's cool, but...
Oh, the Brew Builder. Creating and saving your recipes online is awesome!
No, I mean, yes, but...
The cheese-making supplies.
No.
Oh, the wine-making supplies. Oh, the distilling equipment and liquor flavorings.
All that stuff is awesome, yes, but what I really love is that the guy who runs it is totally hot. And that Brew Builder software is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Brewmaster's Warehouse brings you flat rate shipping on great equipment and ingredients to make beer, wine, cheese, and spirits at brewmasterswarehouse.com. And if you're in Georgia, stop by Brewmaster's Warehouse Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6. Visit brewmasterswarehouse.com today because it's totally hot.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever dreamed of attending the World Brewing Academy? This year, thanks to Lalamond and Danstar, one lucky brewer will make that dream a reality for free. Lalamond and Danstar invite you to enter the Beer School 2015 contest. One lucky grand prize winner will receive fully paid tuition to the 2015 World Brewing Academy web-based concise course in brewing technology worth almost $4,000. From now until December 13th, 2014, every Danstar yeast pack packet you use is your ticket to enter. Visit danstaryeast.com for the details and to print your official entry form. There's no limit on the number of times you can enter, so get brewing with Danstar and get your entries in to the Danstar 2015 Beer School Contest. Whether you want to build your home brewing skills or build a career as a professional brewer, this course will change the way you think of beer and brewing. Enter at danstaryeast.com and get the dry yeast advantage with Danstar and Lallemand Premium Brewing Yeast, and enter to win.
As a brewer, you already don't settle for second best. You want great tasting beer and you want great equipment to make it with. So don't settle for the second best grain mill. You want a Monster Mill from Monster Brewing Hardware. Monster Mills are tough, come in 2 and 3 roller designs, and are made right here in the USA from superior materials for longer lasting performance. Pick the mill that's right for you at monsterbrewinghardware.com and take Bevo's advice.
Trust me, it's always better to have a bigger tool than you think you need.
Monster Mills have the best warranty in the business. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Visit monsterbrewinghardware.com now and check out all the mills and mill accessories. Don't settle for second best. Get a Monster Mill from Monster Brewing Hardware.
Tonight is the night.
We bring the creature to life, Dr. Blickmanstein?
Yes, J.P. Everything is perfect for my next fermented creation.
But, Doctor, the storm is too far away. We'll never have enough power to isomerize the creature's alpha acid.
Yes, J.P. we will. For I have in my possession the Tower of Power.
Blickman's new Tower of Power is the evolution of automation. Control hot liquor, sparge, and mash temps like a pro. The Tower of Power is a high-quality gas-fired rim system that works with your current brewing setup. With ultra-precision, the tower can hold your mash to 1/2 degree Fahrenheit. Precision and repeatability. The Tower of Power is the answer to automatic, fast ramp times. See more at BlickmanEngineering.com. Bring your next creation to life with the Tower of Power.
Dr. Blickmanstein, with the Tower of Power, you can probably give me an afternoon at the pub to enjoy a pint.
Don't be silly, J.P. We have beer to brew.
A few things happened 30 years ago.
ARPANET migrated to TCP/IP, and the Internet was born. Revenge of the Jedi was renamed Return of the Jedi and opened in theaters. Mila Kunis and Emily Blunt were born, beginning a rad fantasy in my mind.
But all of that pales next to the fact that HopTech opened its doors and began blowing homebrewers right out of their mash tuns. HopTech doesn't fuck around. Real people shipping awesome shit straight to you. Their new website is fast and easy to navigate. Or just call 800-379-4677 and let badass bitch Jade and the gadget guy Roberto blow their warm load of customer service all over you. So visit the site or visit the store in Dublin, California, and support those that support you. Get your brewing on at hoptech.com.
Brewcasters are back.
It ain't 401 beer.
Whatever.
All right, welcome back to the program. We're still hanging out at the Hop Grenade. We got a lot to do. We got more beer to drink, that's for sure. I have a 680 IPA in my glass from Shoe Bros Brewery. I'm an East Bay kid now. I'm not from here, but I've been here long enough to now be an East Bay kid. So
Not that bad.
Yeah. So I'm glad that you're here and you're naming beers after the East Bay, everything.
Yeah.
The 680 IPA is good. Is this one of your flagship beers at Shoe Bros?
This is our second beer that we produced.
Okay. Excellent.
So it's one of those beers that's available all year round.
So this is something I kind of skipped over with the both of you that I'd like to ask about, which is a little bit of history of the breweries. When did Shoe Bros open?
We opened June of 2011.
Okay.
So that's when we launched our first beer, which was Nico.
Nico.
So Nico is a wheat beer with rye.
Okay.
So all of our beers, I try to take a little bit of different spin on the typical.
Yeah, that's an
beer.
interesting combination. Wheat beer with rye in it.
Yeah.
All right.
So wheat beer with rye, you have the sweetness from the wheat. The rye and that kind of that spicy dryness to it. So it's a nice counterbalance to the wheat.
Okay.
And then it's American style, so it's filtered. Drinks really clean, really crisp, but you still get that sweet. There's a little bit of dimension to it.
Okay. And how'd you get into brewing? Were you a home brewer first?
Home brewer first.
Okay.
So way back when, in college, it was a buddy and I were looking for an easy way to get beer, and home brewing was a great entryway.
Yeah. I mean, it takes a little while, but easy and cheap.
It's easy and it's a good hobby.
Yeah.
You know, a little camp stove and get yourself some
So
beer.
when you went to Belgium the first time, were you a pro or were you still a home brewer?
I was still a home brewer.
Okay.
So you went over there. Oh my
Excited
God.
about beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just sit in bars and drink all day.
Yeah.
It was like, that was great.
Yeah. That's travel for us, right? It's like, oh, hey, where are you going to travel to? The next brewery?
Yeah. Exactly.
What tourist thing are you going to do? The next brewery?
What's your plans for today?
See,
Find the next brewery.
The beauty of our jobs, though, is it's a work vacation.
Yeah.
It's research.
Yeah, every time.
It's a tax write-off.
That too. So did you go to brewing school or learn everything on the job?
I studied food science at Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, and then I worked at the dairy down there, and that I think helped me get a job at Firestone.
Oh yeah, nice.
So
I got to ask.
It's a good place
You worked
to
at
start.
the dairy?
I did.
Did you put your arm up
No.
cow's butt?
No, I did dairy processing.
Okay.
So
well, that's a form of processing, I guess.
taking the milk that
Got it.
someone else already milked.
Okay.
That's good.
Because, when you're doing the bovine thing, and
No.
especially at a big university, they kind of make you do a lot of things.
Did not inseminate a cow.
Doc's
No.
a doctor. He likes
Yeah.
to know about the science.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
everybody should know that Doc mimed it as he said it. He made his thumb and first finger into a thing
And then shoved his
forearm through it.
I did pretty much shove my whole arm up there.
Yeah, that was
Well, you
gross.
have to. You got to get in there. Make sure.
You do. That's right.
You got to know where it's coming from.
So then you went to Firestone.
So then I went for Firestone.
How long did you brew there?
I worked in the cellar there. Worked on the union a little bit, doing the barrels.
Okay.
And then worked on the packaging line for a little while.
Okay.
So, and then I left, had the opportunity to do a master's degree. So left, went back to Cal Poly for a year.
Okay.
Then got out of the industry for a little bit, and then started working on basically the business plan for Shoe Bros.
I see. And did you guys open with a brewery? Did you build a brewery and start making that way, or contract, or what?
We started contract
Okay.
with the idea of building the brewery.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we started contracting, we just said we need to open our own place.
Yeah.
And so we accelerated that as quickly as we could.
Got it.
So it was under a year we opened our own brewery.
That's pretty quick.
And now everything's pretty much out of San Ramon.
What size brewery do you have now?
We have a 7-barrel brew house.
Okay.
We have 15-barrel fermenters. We're getting ready to put in a couple 30 barrels.
Why did you choose San Ramon? Doesn't seem like a lot of industrial space in San Ramon.
It's not. It's a real pain in the ass.
Okay.
Honestly. But, the city's been great. They're excited to have a brewery.
I'm sure, yeah.
It's actually worked out really well because we have this close community, and there's not a lot of breweries around because there's not a lot of industrial space.
Do you guys have a tasting room, too?
We do have a tasting room.
So that's great for San Ramon.
Yeah, and we have Bishop Branch, and so we get a lot of business, people coming through.
Okay.
So tasting rooms open Thursday, Friday nights, and Saturdays.
Okay.
What's your brew schedule? Are you guys...
as quickly as I can, as often as I can.
But are you guys doing...
Every day?
Max?
Yeah, I have 4 fermenters right now.
Okay.
So I'm doing about 4 days a week. And then once I get the 30s going, I'll be there all the time.
I'll be there constantly.
I'm wondering if it's like
no more
2 shifts, 3 days a week kind of stuff.
I try to stagger it, so I use the first batch to kind of do a prop,
Yeah.
and then I'll put the second batch on top of it.
Okay.
And then once I have the 30s, it'll be double days.
Yeah.
So right now, if I have to do 2 beers in a week, I'll brew one beer one day, and then the next day I'll do one of each. So I'll do the second beer, and
top
then
of the
I'll
old
do the
and then a
first.
brand new one.
And then my second batch will be the first beer for the next day, and then the next day. So I'll brew 3 days a week, but I'll do 4 batches.
Yeah.
And you just aerate the first batch,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always real interested in how you guys kind of spend your time. You only have so many fermenters.
Yeah.
You're doing like double batches, one on top of the other, 3 days a week. because that's what you have. And then when the new fermenters come in, you're throwing in another 2 days.
Yeah.
And you better be bringing in somebody else to kind of help, or you could die.
Yeah, you need a second.
I feel like I'm going to die sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you got to maximize.
Yeah, I do have.
You can.
I have an assistant brewer, Brennan, who's fantastic, and I definitely put him through the ringer.
Yeah,
that's
what assistant brewers are for.
Yeah, and it'd be
fuck that guy.
There were times it was midnight, 2 a.m., and I'd been there since 6 a.m., and I was like, fuck this.
Yeah,
and I'll send Brennan a text, hey, sorry, I left you a huge mess.
Yeah. Deal with it.
Yeah, I got nothing left. I'm going home.
Yeah.
Now you guys have you've poured at our Winterfest for a couple years now, right?
We have.
All right, cool. I thought so.
Yeah.
You guys have been around for a little bit.
Yeah, we've been around, definitely.
Okay.
So we're still getting out there, though.
What about you, Koen? How did you get started brewing? How long you been doing it?
For about 6 years.
6 years now.
Yeah.
What'd you do before brewing?
I made wine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, when I was 18, I got in contact with lots of my friends. Their fathers were making wine, and I spent more time with the guys than with my friends.
With
actually.
the friends, okay. Learning how to make wine.
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference between making wine and making beer?
Wine production is all the work happens in the field during the growing of the grapes.
Okay.
So a farmer takes a lot of time to do that.
Yeah.
And then he gets in the grapes, they get crushed, and they ferment. That's about it.
Okay.
Like with brewing, the brewmaster does not do the malting process anymore. Doesn't grow the grains and so. So the process is like the brewing, like making the sugar is in the grape, but there is only starch in the grains. So we have to take them out and make them sugars, and then play with malts, play with hops, and it all happens in the brewery. That's actually the main business, the main difference.
Okay. That makes sense.
They are both interesting.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I'm not one of these people who has to choose wine or beer. I really like both of them. I don't know shit about wine, but I really enjoy it. And I don't like the debate over which is better. I think they're both interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. And different, obviously.
Also for food pairing, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then how'd you end up going from wine to beer?
Well, at a certain time in Belgium, there was an education program to be a zytologist. That's mainly like a beer sommelier.
Okay.
It takes about a year and a half, and you go every week to evening classes where you have one part which is the theoretical background of whatever is like history of beer, the what they use to make beer, the fabrication process, then organoleptica, how to taste beer, and so on, and so on, and so on. And then the second half of the evening is like a tasting.
Got it.
Which is quite interesting.
It's like adult school, Doc.
That works for me. Well, yeah. It's education at the beginning and fun at the end.
And so during that fabrication process, I said, well, to understand it a little bit better, I need to brew. So I found some home brewers and I assisted them. But after a couple of times, I bought myself little kettles and camping stoves, and I tried some stuff for myself.
Okay.
And it grew and it grew.
So you got right into it. You fell in love with it. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm a trained biochemist.
Okay.
So it was not that hard to understand all the biochemistry behind it. So I have been working at the University of Ghent for 10 years doing research. Mostly protein research, mass spectrometry and that, so I have been in quite some labs.
Okay.
So it was not a very big step to go from one to the other.
Well, and maybe it wasn't that hard to get your first job then either at a brewery if you knew the chemistry side so well.
Well, actually, my own Seven Sins, I own my own brew company, so I'm...
Is that how you started with that?
Yes, because I had a daughter and I wanted to release like a bird beer instead of going to a shop and offering people like candies. I wanted to make one of my home brews, like a beer for my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to give it away because it's not legal to do that from a home brew. So I contacted the Hulden Spoor in Hullegem.
Okay.
It was like immediately a good contact with Bjorn, the brewmaster there. I produced like 10 hectoliters and I said, well, I have so much. I don't have so much friends. Now I have, but at that time I didn't have so much friends.
Yeah, now you do.
Yeah, because I make the beer.
Yeah.
And I made up the idea to make like 7 cents beer because I was not married at that time.
Okay.
And I came up with the name Luxuria, which is lust. So it started with Luxuria, and by now I made the Gula, Gluttony, I made the Nvidia, and the Acedia, which is slot, is already for 2.5 years on barrels, waiting until I'm done with the 3 other beers. Which
you haven't put that out yet. It's just in the barrels. Wow.
I just
7 sins. That's a lot of sins.
Yes.
Yeah, but that are the cardinal sins. Then there are a lot more.
That's true. Yeah. Tasty. You could probably list more. There's a lot more sins.
What's the whacking off one? What's that called?
It depends on what your brain's doing at the time.
I see.
Yeah, it could be almost anything.
So I gave myself 7 years to produce 7 beers. So we are now in the 4th year. So actually I should produce another sin, but maybe it's just the sin of slot that I waited another year.
You're dwarfing.
Perfect. Yeah.
Oh, that's what I do.
Yeah. And if it goes past 7 years, you're just a liar, whatever that one is.
Yeah.
So you're fine.
Well, we'll make up one.
Yeah.
Well, which one's gluttony?
It's Gula.
Oh.
Yeah, that's.
And you already made that. What kind of beer is that?
It is too sweet. It's unbalanced to me because it's too sweet, it's too spicy, and it's too alcoholic.
Okay.
But a lot of people like it.
Oh, it's gluttony.
I'm sure they do.
It combines really well with blue cheese, like we have in Belgium, the Grevenbroeker, which is the Achelse Blauwe.
Yeah.
It's world famous. It won some cheese awards.
It's fantastic.
And it combines like it was made for each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What kind of beer would you call it? Is there a style that you could give it to give us an idea?
It's a spiced quadruple.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's close enough. Yeah, so it's a quad, and then it's got a lot of spice. Spices in it, like anise and things like that? Or?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But I can't tell,
of course.
He's got that secret thing going again.
It contains no cinnamon.
Okay. You'll tell us that.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's somewhere on Beer Advocate and all the rate beer stuff. You can find it.
So let me see if I have this right. The brewery that you work for most of the time is Hugel.
Yeah, that's me.
Brewing company.
No, I don't work. The 7 Cents beer are more like
yours.
Yeah, that's me, and I do it for. It's not for fun. It's to give the world some food pairing beers which are really special.
So can anybody buy the 7 Cents beers, or they're just for these food pairings that you do?
No. It's sold. It's even sold in San Francisco and that area.
But it doesn't say 7 Sins, does it? It says 7 Zonden?
It says 7 cents.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah, we did translation for it. Yeah.
Good, because we're stupid.
Thanks for that.
You've been here before.
Yeah.
He's like, they're idiots. Please do the translation.
Some of us live in San Ramon.
Okay, so that one's available. But this other brewery you freelance at.
Yes.
That's Hugel.
No, that is Kazematten.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hugel is
I'm Hugel. I'm the brew
That's
company.
a shortening of his last name, I realized at the last break.
Okay.
Yeah. But I freelance now 2 to 4 days a week at Brewery Kazematten in Yper, which started only a year ago.
Okay.
We brewed the first batch on September the 14th, so it will be like our first anniversary soon.
Oh, yeah.
We made 5 batches in 2013, and I remember that when I left, I did my 59th batch of this year, which was a lot of work.
That is a lot. 59th this year.
Yes.
That's every 10 days.
Tasty, how many brews have you done this year so far?
Less.
Home brews or just brews?
Home brews.
I don't know, probably 11 or so.
11.
Not that many.
Now.
So what size brew house are you brewing on there?
Sorry?
What size brew house? How many hectoliters?
We do it in hectoliter, not in liters.
That's fine. That's fine.
I knew you were saying hectoliters.
We start with 7, and we end up, after it has been fermented, we end up in the bottle or in the keg with 6 hectoliter.
Okay.
Yeah. We can do, it takes me 8 hours. I can do 2 batches a day, but it's so hard because the installation is really totally not automated. Like we heat with steam, and if I change, Mike was there, so he saw it. It really is. You have to pay attention a lot, and if you work like 14 hours and you miss one valve, you don't close it. Since we use multiple mashing steps, things go wrong really fast.
So you step mash on
yes
on a steam.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That happens also with my 7 Sins, but there we have like an Huldenspoor installation where you just put into the computer, like I want that temperature for that long, and then you grab some Westvleteren, you get back after 2 hours, and the mashing is done, and it's even in the Loutering kettle. So
it's already been moved on.
Yeah.
And then you rake or not rake?
I rake.
Rake during the
Let's
long.
talk about step mashing for a second.
Yeah.
Mike, do you step mash at your brewery?
No, we don't. We just have a simple infusion.
So this is why I wanted to ask this question, because there obviously are still a lot of brewers in the world that step mash, and there's a lot of brewers in the world that don't. So what do you think about that, Koen? Because so the brewers that don't, I assume, would say the malts are highly modified, and we don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Is that about right, Mike? You could say more. I don't mean to put words in your mouth.
It would be nice if we had the step mash capabilities.
Okay,
I think it's
more of a system.
It's
thing.
a system and a financial position that we're in, and I think we make great beers. I mean, you guys can tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, that's right. And we reserve the right to call you if
that's otherwise. It'd probably be better if you step mash. Just saying.
Well, no, I think you add a little bit, one more degree of control.
Okay.
Yep.
And I think the more control you have, the more consistent you can be. You can make up for deficiencies in the malt or anything.
So you're
like
saying you're out of control?
Okay.
No, I'm in control. But if I had more control,
you wouldn't.
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
Koen, what's your thought about the breweries that do the single mash? Because there are breweries that can do step and they don't. They feel they don't need to.
Yeah, they're wrong.
Okay.
I'm with Koen.
So why do we need to?
Because every enzyme has its own working temperature, and if you do only one step, or you have to take a lot longer and hope that you get the pieces chopped up in the right position.
Yeah.
But if you do multiple steps, then you can play with mouthfeel, and because you can calculate a bit how long the pieces are and what will be fermentable and what won't be fermentable.
Okay.
So that's a bit the issue. That was a bit of my concern with brewing my stuff in a few days at Shoe Bros, because it's a single step, but I hope that we can find a way around that.
We do a modified.
Yes.
Step? Okay.
Yeah.
We will try.
We take our infusion and we add hot water to it.
Yeah.
We can kind of get a second step out of it.
Okay, that makes sense. A home brewer would do that too.
Yeah.
Just to rise it up.
Add some more hot water.
So what would be the ideal step mash then for temperature-wise for this brew that you're doing, Koen? What would you like to see it be at, the different steps? You can do it in Celsius. It's okay.
What I want and what I will get is very different.
That's okay. I'm more. Well, if I'm picking your brain, if you for the perfect step, that's what I want to know.
It depends on what type of beer you will make. Well, if you make blonde, dark, if you have a lot of like colored malts, like if you use 300 EBC stuff, then you need like longer steps on this and that.
What's the beer that you're about to brew here?
I'm not sure yet. It will also a bit depend on the mashing step and whether I will have to add sugar. I will see how the lottering goes but I don't know how to cut on that machine, so I might
turn on the damn rakes, Mike.
I might ask Brendan on the secret line, help me out.
All right, let me try to pare it down to something else. The triple that we had, a Belgian triple, of the same ingredient, this Belgian triple that we already had. If you were to do it exactly how you wanted, what would your steps be? I just think our listeners would, our homebrew listeners want a little info like that.
I would use some 63, 65, skip on the 68 and go to 70, 72.
Okay,
Celsius.
So 3 steps.
Yeah, 3 steps, yeah.
And then is there a mash out, or that's the 72?
No.
That's
we go to probably 80.
80 for the final mash out.
Yeah. Koen's my new hero.
I met some brewers.
There's not a brew I don't do a step.
I met
at least 3.
I met some brewers and they just say I do like 1 hour on 60 degrees Celsius and then I just go to my boiling kettle.
Yeah.
But if you don't do that, I think it works. But the enzymes still are active and they do stuff.
Yeah,
and you can do so much more
when you do
multiple steps.
Yeah.
You can just dial, like you said, the mouthfeel. It's mostly dialing in the mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Well, a lot of the malts that we have here are kilned to be highly modified, just because we're basically a single infusion kind of country.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we roll here, really.
Yeah.
Doc's trying to get something that's probably not even there.
I'm using a lot of European malts too.
Yeah.
But even those, I think Tasty's saying, we're told that they're... And by the way, I'm not arguing either side. I'm just throwing it out there.
Sure you are.
We're told that those are highly modified, like Tasty said. So
well, that might probably explain why the malts which we ordered from Dingemans were different. Yeah. Although the fact we just ordered like the same name in the catalog.
Yeah, okay.
Which had like the same specifications.
Okay.
So that might explain it.
And it actually had the same specifications of the malt analysis sheet, or did you possibly it's different? You're thinking now, probably, right?
Now I should compare the specifications because I think that every brewer, if he opens the bag before he puts it in the grinder, there is your hand and you taste it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So what kind of extract efficiency do you get in your brewery?
75, 78.
Yeah, see, our guys are getting above 80 and 80.
Yeah, that's because then probably the modified stuff.
There you go.
Probably it's pre-mashed.
Basically, it's already been done.
Yeah, dry mashing.
It's already been
maybe dry mashing before you brew.
We're just liquefying.
We're just adding water.
Mike, what kind of efficiency do you get over there at True?
I get over 90.
Yeah, see.
So it's a malt thing. And that's kind of why I started the discussion. I just wanted to know about the differences, too. I've only, as a home brewer, and I'm not a good example, I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, wait let's go back on that.
I've only done a step mash with other brewers. If it's my brew, it's always a single, and I'm always, like you say, Tasty, I'm over 80% efficiency.
Yeah.
You might find it interesting, Doc, or obvious. I obviously I've step mashed with you. The only other time on my own system that I've done multiple steps was with Dan Gordon when we shot the Lager DVD, which is yet to be released. Because Dan Gordon, a German brewer here in America, is just like you, Koen. He thinks, forget it. If you couldn't possibly make a beer without step mashing. You have to step mash. And he doesn't care if the malts are modified or anything else. And so when we did his perfect Pilsner recipe, he made us do a step mash.
Doc,
other than that, I've always just done the single.
Doc, do you think you're getting something out of it that when you step mash, even though you're
definitely.
You are?
Oh, yeah. I can modify the mouthfeel. I can modify mostly it's mouthfeel. Yeah. And that's such a big part of the beer.
Yeah, it is.
I don't want. I can dial it in whether I want a thinner beer or a thicker beer. I'm going to get something more out of it.
Yeah, it's drinkability as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So is there a such thing as a malt that absolutely only needs single step? You really just do not have to, because you're saying you have to do it no matter what the malt.
When I'm doing English beers, a lot of the different English beers, they all do single step, and I will emulate that.
Okay.
But a lot of my beers are German or Belgian, and I'm going to do at least 3 steps.
Okay.
Just because I can. It's easier for me. You can't. Or Shoe Bros, you just can't.
No, I can't.
And I can't. It's very easy for me to do it. I'm gonna roll in at 110. Then I'm gonna roll up to 122, and then I'm gonna do my saccharification rest at that point.
Yeah.
And it has to do more with what the end beer is gonna taste like in my mouth. It's. I'm going to get my efficiency no matter what. I know that.
Yeah.
But it's
the mouthfeel.
I'm going to dial in what the mouthfeel is.
Okay.
It's going to be thinner or thicker, whatever I want. And I really do believe in that. It's an extra step.
Yeah.
But I do it because it's easy for me. If it's really difficult,
you wouldn't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't modify your whole system so you're going to make it so you can do it.
Right. This is actually what I like about the discussion because, as Tasty points out, the malts are designed for us here that we can do a single step. But you get things out of it, and Koen gets more out of it, and yeah. And actually, I find it interesting, Mike, to hear you say, I'd do it if I could.
Yeah, and I depending on the beer that I make, I shift my mashing temperature.
Okay, yeah.
So if I want a lighter mouthfeel, I'll try to mash in a little cooler.
Okay.
Right.
You get more betas,
Yeah.
and if it's if I want something a little more chewy,
Yeah.
I'll come in a little hotter.
So your 680 IPA, what's your mash temp there?
We're around 152.
Okay. Yeah. I like
So,
this beer.
I mean,
Good IPA.
I've worn your arms out doing a decoction.
Yeah, we did a decoction.
And
mash,
we
too.
made an awesome beer.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
Like I said, I just like
You're ready to kill me, but
yeah, I was a pain in the ass stirring,
it was
scooping,
But
and,
I for sure, pushed my my saccharification temperatures around a little bit.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
Sure.
there's things you can do on an infusion mash to adjust it.
Right.
Tasty, what's your mash temp on the old session IPA, the popular session IPA right now?
Well, yeah, the lower EBV stuff, I go like 154 or 156.
Yeah,
Get a lot
okay.
of body in the beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some tasty beer to try that was brewed in France. So we're going to do that,
Ooh.
I think, after the break. Gentlemen, you want to hang out and try some beer with us that I brought back? I don't have a whole lot of it, but I got a few things. Okay.
You're not heading back to Belgium anytime soon.
When are you going back, Koen?
September 11th.
Oh, yeah, you got a few more days. When did you get here?
Good day to fly.
January.
Yeah, it was not cheaper.
Yeah.
No,
We're running a special.
September 11th.
I got here on the 19th.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So I
right.
did some brewing, went to Burning Man, went to Harbin.
How was your Burning Man experience? this
Different, great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've been before.
Yes.
Why'd you start going to Burning Man? Who brought you there?
Oh, some crazy friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, we discussed about it it was 2000, 2001. And some friends say, well, there is a crazy festival somewhere in the desert. We should go there. And then we thought about going in 2006 because it would be like 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
Which was wrong because the 20th time was in 2005, if you add 2006, of course.
Yeah.
But we went in 2006. There was a big Belgian project. The
waffle.
The waffle, yeah.
The waffle was good.
We were like, for other people, we were the other Belgians.
Oh, you weren't those Belgians.
The other Belgians, yeah. And then we got back for the Green Man in 7. I got back in 9, 11, and now in 2014. Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe next year, maybe not.
Yeah, I might have to go back next year. I've skipped a couple years now, but
Oh, wait.
I'm getting a little hankering to go back.
There's no might here.
I'm getting a little hankering to go back. The only reason I didn't go this year is because I went to Europe instead. I just
No, because he wouldn't drink the roofie.
I went to Europe instead. I had to do it. I'm curious, Brasserie de la Seine?
Yeah.
You must, right? I'm a big fan. I'm just curious what you think, because to me, so De La Seine, we had him not on the show, but we did an interview with him at the Firestone Walker Beer Festival.
Great guy. I loved hanging with him.
Yeah,
Yvonne,
exactly, Yvonne. Nice guy. But I had his beer a lot while I was in France, too, because when I got tired of experimenting with random beers, there was always De La Seine on tap, so I would try that. And the reason I'm bringing it up is I feel like he's kind of a hybrid between Belgian beers and American beers. I felt that they were truly Belgian in their character, very dry, somewhat yeast-driven, and just a lot of wonderful, what I would call traditional Belgian flavor, but with kind of American balance and hops and different...
You mean a tabula rasa, or...?
What did I have? Zinnebeer is one, of course. And
Stouterek, isn't that one of them?
What's his really strong one? There's a oh man, I had it all the
Say
time.
it was your best French accent.
No, I can't even think of the name, although I had it every time. Well, why do you? Because you don't find them to be very much of a hybrid. You think only specific ones is what I must be talking about?
Well, if you compare to most American IPA stuff or American style,
he's not that far. That's why I say he's
no.
sort of right in between the two. Or do you think he's more traditional Belgian?
Maybe for more Belgians he would be like more untraditional. But for me, because I'm used to having like lots of different stuff, which is more strange than that. Yeah.
Okay. I guess like I said, I just bring it up because I had it so much, and I felt like the beer is wonderful. It's so well brewed. If you can ever have De La Seine, I think you should. But it was just such they were cleaner. Drier, just a little more on the hoppy American side, and I loved it.
You can buy it here, by the way. I saw it at Ool the other day. If right here in Walnut Creek, you can go to Ool and pick up some De La Seine beer. And it was at every French beer bar I went to. And I don't know, it was just nice to find some consistent beer in a landscape that was a bit inconsistent.
Was it Wadessa?
No.
You said it was their strong one? Do you remember the style?
No.
Can't help you.
I drank too much of it. It was 10% every time I had one.
Hey, can you guys tell us about the disaster you experienced the other day? I want to make sure we get to that before we take a break.
Yeah. I heard you guys had a gasket leak or something?
It sucks for you to tell it, but it's great for everyone listening.
It does, and that's why there's so little of this triple out there. So we had a tank, when we closed the door, it had pinched the gasket a little bit.
Is that a euphemism for something?
No, the door gasket actually pinched when we closed it.
Like the manway door in the fermenter?
Door on the fermenter.
Okay.
When you closed it.
When I...
What is this wee business?
It's a collaboration.
Thank you, Mike. Fucking Doc does that to me. Every time Doc and I do something together, and there's a mistake, and I say we, because even if I did it, it's a we. He always goes, what's this we shit?
You know who else does that?
We made a good beer, right?
Then it's we.
You lost it.
Wives and girlfriends do that too. Hey, can we mow the lawn this weekend?
Yeah.
We.
Well, I'm getting that from you that the last little guy out of that manhole that closed this thing up pinched the gasket.
We'll just blame it on Brennan.
All right, so you're closing the manhole in the fermenter before filling it, obviously.
Yeah, and it's when we closed it rolled a little bit towards the inway.
Okay.
And went through fermentation fine. All right, we're safe. We had a little bit of leakage. We're okay.
Oh, so you knew it at fermentation?
I'd seen a little bit of leakage, saw that the gasket was pinched, but okay, we're all right. It didn't pinch too bad where it's going to be catastrophic.
Yeah.
Then we go to...
Famous last words.
See, when we go to crash it...
Yeah, we crashed it.
Okay, yeah.
But he lost it.
Yeah. I cleaned it up, right?
Yeah.
Where were you?
I was in the desert.
Yeah.
I was not there.
So you crashed the beer before leaving work.
Yeah, and come in the next morning, and there's beer everywhere.
Oh, no.
So we lost...
Describe more detail beer everywhere. Like how much
Describe
of the beer?
The look on your face.
Right. The awful look. How much beer is
utter
everywhere?
Distress.
Oh, no.
So there's probably about 7 barrels of beer
on
the floor.
What's that in hectoliters?
Oh, no.
I don't want to know.
So much beer.
Yeah, it's upwards of 10 hectoliters.
Wait, is that the whole fermenter then?
No, it was everything.
A third of the...
Yeah, about a third of the fermenter was...
Everything above the manhole.
Yeah, it was about halfway up the manway.
Okay,
So then when we transferred it, we couldn't get... There was a hole... There was a leak, so we couldn't even keep pressure on it.
Oh, yeah.
So we're just pumping CO2 in to keep it from sucking it.
Wait.
Wow.
Little Dutch boy?
No.
Put his finger in it?
Yeah, it didn't work.
No.
Did it just go down the drain, or it literally sat still
we
in the...
We squeegeed it, and then we...
Oh, man.
Scrubbed the floor. I scrubbed the floors. I wouldn't want to give you credit for anything you didn't do.
Well, I was in the desert.
I was in the desert.
Now, so you walk in that morning, right? And you open the door. Do you instantly know? Is there just beer everywhere?
You can smell it.
Okay.
Open the front door. The alarm's going off.
I could smell it in the desert.
Yes, it's so far. 300 miles north.
Everyone on 680 sitting in traffic.
What is
they can
that?
smell it.
So you walk in, you can smell it.
Yeah.
And then what? You go further into the...
And then go through the office, and then just...
And it's like, how deep is the pool of beer at this point?
About a half inch.
Oh, shit.
So everywhere, for those of you who've been to the brewery, our cellar's on one wall, and then the brewery's kind of around a corner where the office is.
And the beer's in the middle.
The beer's everywhere. So it's underneath the brew house. It crept underneath our walk-in cooler. So I got to move kegs to squeegee that out. Underneath all the fermenters, underneath some pallets. It was a good excuse for 2 days of cleaning the brewery.
Yeah, the brewery's spotless again.
Yeah.
It needed to be cleaned and it pinched on purpose.
Yeah, that's right.
Clean me.
The brewery was telling you exactly.
It's the sloth.
Yeah. That's rough.
Was that the only fermenter of this beer?
Yeah.
Just the one. Wow.
So we ended up with a grand 4.5 barrel yield.
And that's the beer that we have here?
Lucky us. Half a barrel here.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Pretty exclusive.
Yeah, no kidding. Get down here while you still can.
Yeah, not much of it.
I'm going to have more at the next break, actually.
Wow, that's rich coming from Justin. This man is not a Belgian beer fan, guys.
No.
That is high praise.
Unless it's sour, but I'm going back for it. It's good.
Thank you.
All right, I got to get us to a break. We're going to come back. We're going to try some more beer, hang out with the guys, if that's cool with you. Let me let you know real quick, our good friends over at the Siebel Institute of Technology. It's America's oldest brewing school. More courses than any other brewing school, which include, you can do it just as a home brewer, too. They have an advanced home brewing course, craft distilling, and beer styles courses for those looking to ace beer knowledge exams. Professional level brewing courses available both campus-based and web-based, and the facility includes some of the best-known and most respected instructors in international brewing. In fact, I know that one of Tasty's friends, Win here, the brother of one of our great bartenders, went to the Siebel Institute here, then he went to Siebel in Germany.
Yeah,
I believe he just got a professional brewing job.
He did, at Lagunitas.
At Lagunitas?
Yeah.
Good for him.
He's fun to hang around with. He actually knows a lot about beer. It's fun to talk to.
Amazing little education.
I mean, he knows more than I know.
Yeah.
But I can learn from him because I can tell if he's like bullshitting me.
There he is. Right.
Yeah.
Kid goes away to Siebel and comes back a professional brewer. How about that? Go to you can go check them out online. Just go to Siebel Institute. Siebel, America's oldest brewing school. Good guys over there. And Keith. You know Keith, Tasty? You met
Sure.
Keith? He's a
funniest
funny dude.
man on the planet,
He's
I'm thinking.
fucking hilarious.
I wish he was here right now. We'd have a great party.
He's one of the guys who... We got to have him on just to
Keith
talk
Lemke,
about Siebel.
yes.
And we would talk about Siebel for about 2.5 minutes. And then the
Just
rest
tell
of the
the
time,
stories.
we would just fuck around with Keith. Yeah. He's a good dude. All right, go check him out over at Siebel. We're going to take ourselves a break here. And when we come back, we're going to taste some beer that I brought home, including Tasty's namesake.
Yes.
How about that?
My only branded beer.
It is, right?
It's a French beer.
The French like you, Tasty. You're big in
Well,
France.
like me enough.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen him at the Eiffel Tower.
You're big.
That's right.
Very big in France. All right, we'll be back in just a few minutes. Hang in there. It's The Session, live from the Hop Grenade. Hang in there.
You're listening to the Brewcasters.
The Brewcasters
on the Brewing Network.
Williams Brewing is your online resource for prompt delivery of quality home brewing supplies. Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and the freshest ingredients, backed by the best customer service in the business. New items include the Big Oxygen Kit for economical wort aeration using common welding oxygen tanks, and the Unistat line of external thermostats for easy control of both electric heaters and refrigerators. In addition, they've just mashed their new oatmeal stout malt extract, so you can make those tasty winter oatmeal stouts and porters without mashing. Go to williamsbrewing.com today and browse their vast selection. That's williamsbrewing.com. Orders placed by 4 p.m. Pacific Time weekdays ship the same day. Brewing is easy. The Williams way.
When I order a beer, I want my server to know more about it than I do. I want someone who enjoys good beer and loves helping others enjoy it too. I want someone who knows how to pour a perfect pint for every beer style. I want a Cicerone.
The Cicerone Certification Program is creating the type of people who help you enjoy great beer. Home brewers and craft beer lovers know beer is more flavorful and complex than ever, and it takes some serious knowledge to store and serve beer right. Cicerones know beer. There are 3 levels in the Cicerone program: Certified Beer Server, Certified Cicerone, and Master Cicerone. Cicerones are truly the sommeliers of beer. The best beer locations have a certified Cicerone on staff. Relaxed and unpretentious, Cicerones Cicerones are tested on storing and serving beer, beer styles, flavor and tasting, the brewing process and ingredients, and pairing food with beer. Learn more about your next beer guide at cicerone.org. Certified Cicerone, because it takes top talent to present a perfect pint.
Do you know the 3 most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star San, SaniClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today.
Downtown Joe's, where everyone is welcome, especially if you like drinking and tasting beer. Head brewer Colin Kaminsky's favorite beers are the Tantric IPA and the Double Secret Probation IPA. But you'll have loads of others to choose from when you redeem your exclusive Brewing Network savings. Downtown Joe's is the best brewery destination and the hottest night spot in Napa. Colin invites all homebrewers and fans of craft beer to stop by and enjoy the great food and beer. Whether you're in the mood for riverside dining, live music, or just hanging out at the bar to meet a person of the opposite sex or a person of the same sex, Downtown Joe's has exactly what you're looking for. And now just mention the Brewing Network to receive $1 off your beer at Downtown Joe's. That's right, take $1 off every one of their great selection of craft beers, including the Lazy Summer Wheat, Golden Thistle Porter, and the Triple Dog Dare You. Come to Downtown Joe's and enjoy the laid-back atmosphere of Napa's best brew pub. Visit downtownjoes.com right now for current beers, the live music schedule, or to drool over their delicious menu items. Downtown Joe's, your neighborhood brew pub where everyone is welcome.
Adventures in Homebrewing have the knowledge and expertise to craft their own gear and original recipes. Some of the things homebrewing.org creates and manufactures in-house are the Brutus brew stands and propane burners, the Serial Killer adjustable 2-roller grain mill with 7-pound hopper, custom stainless steel false bottoms designed to fit kegels, coolers, and mini-sized brew pots. And the BN Army receives 10% off their homebrewing.org orders when they use coupon code AIH10 at checkout. The brewers at Adventures in Homebrewing have designed a huge selection of original recipes for extract and all-grain brewing. Adventures in Homebrewing original recipes are tried and tested, proven to be of the best quality. And right now, Adventures in Homebrewing is shipping 24 of their best recipes for free. Visit homebrewing.org for the most current selection. Once you try one of Adventures in Homebrewing recipes, you'll keep coming back for more. And now, it's even easier with free shipping on these kits. And don't forget to use the current coupon code AIH10. Adventures in Homebrewing at homebrewing.org.
You're listening to the Brewing Network. Because like beer, radio shouldn't suck.
All right, welcome back to the program, and thanks so much for hanging out with us. We've been having a good time here with the Shoe Bros and Koen from Hugel. That's his brewing company that he's doing over there in Belgium. I kind of can't wait to get back to Belgium now that I've met you, Koen.
You are invited.
I'm gonna have a good time, I think. It'll be fun.
It rains all the time.
It just rains, right?
That's all it does.
I heard you had a bad rain experience. Was it really bad rain?
It was pretty bad.
Was it like, could you still get around, or was it flooding?
Well, Koen drove me around in the van, and then that night I didn't get dinner.
Okay.
He left me off downtown. I was like, well, you might find some food down there.
Good luck.
Here's the bike.
See you later.
Sorry, it doesn't have fenders.
And it was pouring rain.
You might be able to find some food. It's not raining too bad now, but you never know.
Look, sometimes you got to just go make your own way in a new country.
It makes it fun.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was only 2 miles from where I was staying, so
okay.
I got a nice scenic, wet view of.
Yeah,
it was even it was raining on the day that the Tour de France started in Ypres. It poured. Yeah. It actually poured.
Okay, yeah.
It was a mess the whole time. It just would not stop raining. Except for the day I left.
Oh yeah,
Of
and
course.
the sun came out.
Sun came out.
Yeah.
Sun came out. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
But I was in a train to the airport.
Okay, yeah.
Meanwhile, Shubro sent him to Seattle. Oh, yeah, you're going to Belgium.
Yeah.
Just, fall asleep on the plane.
It was just Seattle.
Yeah.
I think it rains less in Seattle.
What city were you in?
Bad.
What city was it?
Kortrijk.
Okay. Give me something in relation to. I've been to West-Vleteren.
Yeah.
Oost-Vleteren, right there.
Yeah.
And then Brussels, basically.
Okay.
So.
Well, if you know Bruges, it's 40 kilometers below.
Okay, just below Bruges.
Yeah, and then you have another 40 kilometers to reach West-Vleteren on the west side.
Got it. Okay.
Do you know where?
Well, and
Lille
like you
is?
said, everything it's 200 miles across
Yeah.
either way, so it's not too bad to get anywhere.
It's like 20 kilometers from France.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Like
It's about-
most of Belgium.
Straight north is.
Right, like everything else in Belgium. It's just near France.
Lille.
It's like close to Holland, close to France, or close to Germany.
Okay.
Or Luxembourg.
Oh, great. It's easy to get to.
Yeah, or the sea.
Okay. Excellent. When are you going back, Mike?
Hopefully soon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No plans yet? But...
No hard plans yet.
Okay.
I think we're going to have to get over there and brew some more beer soon.
Okay. Well, I've got your triple in my glass because I wanted another one. It's a wonderful beer.
This is amazing. I've never seen Justin drink a more one Belgian, let alone two in a row. Again, other than sour.
I like
it's
it.
amazing.
I do like it. So I got that in my glass, and then I've got the Tasty Session IPA brewed from Outland Brewing Company. Now, Outland currently is contract brewing. They had a tiny brewery, almost a home brewery, really, but just a slightly bigger. But the demand for their beer actually skyrocketed pretty quickly, so they started contract brewing. They're in the process of finding a brewery location of their own right now. And I had a few beers from Outland while I was there. I had Tasty. I had they have a West Coast IPA. All their labels are really cool, by the way. And then they have a beer called, it's just listed as an amber, but it's a hoppy amber beer. It's called Line 6. It's named after one of the metro lines in Paris. So, Tasty, is this the first you're trying of? I know you worked on this recipe with them.
Well, over the web, we collaborated on the recipe.
Okay.
Which is basically my Tasty pale ale recipe.
It's your pale ale?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the first time you're trying it, though?
First time I've ever had the beer right here.
You had seen the label before, though?
Sure, he sent me the label and showed me pictures of the beer on the shelf and stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
And now, of course, the beer is literally called Tasty. It says it on the label.
Yeah,
and then it's got his little Tasty logo on it.
Yeah. Tasty logo going there. Yeah.
It's the silhouette of Tasty. And there's I wonder, did they purposely Tasty do sort of a California theme? There's like the sun from 1980s California license plates here.
Absolutely.
That's their deal, yeah. So what do you think, Taste?
It tastes good.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a little, I might have a, never mind.
Something going on with it?
I might have a little DMS maybe. I don't know.
A little DMS, you think?
What do you think?
So you would know that this was not your homebrewed taste. Like if you tried it, you would say, "Oh, I didn't brew this. This is not my homebrew."
It's a little drier than mine. Mine would have a little bit more malt backbone. What's the ABV on this, Koen?
I think it says 3.9, right?
3.9?
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
I think my pale's a little bit bigger than that. That'd be more like my session beer. This at 3.9. So at 3.9, it's I like it. It's good.
A little DMS, I'll give you that.
Yeah, but nothing.
It's one of the best beers I had in France.
I can see where you'd say that. This is a good beer.
Yeah,
I can see it standing out.
I think the hops are already dropping.
Yeah, I was going to say, did it taste like this? And what are the differences?
So this one I didn't get straight from Yen. I got this off the shelf of a beer shop because Yen's out of beer. He can't keep this beer. He cannot. It's gone before they make it, which is very cool. So I don't know how long this particular one sat on the shelf. It doesn't seem too old.
It doesn't seem too hoppy either, though, and it shocked me that this would be a tasty beer.
I think it's in balance for its ABV. I don't think it's.
It doesn't taste out of balance. I think if it was hoppy, it would taste out of balance. But that's how I would picture this beer tasting, is on the hoppy side.
Yeah, I like it. I could drink about 6 of these.
Yeah, it's very sessionable. I like it.
Yeah, it's got that going for it. Well, Outland is looking to open their own brewery. It's their recipes and their labels right now. They're contract brewing, but hopefully by 2015, they say, they'll have their own brewery.
Well,
Yen has quit his job as a teacher and is going full-time brewery now. So
he's got a rich girlfriend, you're saying?
No, he does not. It's a
One with a
weird
job?
It is. He does have a girlfriend with a job. She's
All right.
also a teacher.
Huh.
I guess what he did was he saved up 2 years worth of mortgage or rent or whatever, and he's taken out some. Yeah, and he's taken out some loans to open the brewery. And he's just going for it. The thing, the French occupational system is interesting. He's allowed to leave as a teacher for 2 years. Now, he can't quit. If he were to quit, if he wanted to go back as a teacher, like if everything failed, he'd have to go through school again. He would literally have to go through the whole thing again and become recertified as a teacher if he were to quit.
Just a short course, not like the whole
No, he'd have to do the whole certification program again. So not the general ed, but the thing at the end.
The last 3-4 courses. Or
No, it's a long. It'd be 2 years of school.
Wow.
Okay, so he didn't quit. He left. He took a leave of absence.
It's a sabbatical or something.
If you do that, you don't get paid, of course, but you have 2 years. And if in 2 years the brewery doesn't work, he can go back to his old teaching gig. I think if he keeps it up, he's going to make it. He's going to do fine, and he won't have to go to back to his teaching gig.
Are teachers paid really well there, or is it like
No.
here or there? Oh, so
They're not paid really well. They're paid okay. They're taken care of very well. You get a good amount of vacation time. There's health care.
So far, it sounds like here.
It's actually it is pretty similar to here. Their teaching program is pretty similar to here, with the exception of the fact that here, if you left for 2 years, you would have just been quitting your job,
Right.
and then you'd apply for a job again. There, if he were to quit, he couldn't go back to it. It's a weird thing. They have to hold on to you in some weird way. Anyhow, he's going for it, Tasty.
Right.
He's opening the
got
brewery.
2 years to
Yeah.
say go or no go.
Why don't we open this one, too? Now, this other beer is from a French brewery called Salive, and I did not meet them. I don't know them. I was talked to about them quite a bit. S-A-L-E-V-E.
Oh, not sleeve.
Not sleeve, Salive. And I'm probably not even saying it right.
Of course
Is
you
it
aren't. You can't speak
Koen?
French.
Is there another way to say it?
No, it's the same.
It's the same, yeah.
It's the same.
So Salive, and I was told by a few different French people that they think it's one of the best breweries in the country. I had 2 or 3 of their beers. I think I have another one to share with you guys in another show. It's at home.
But not tonight.
But I like their beer. I think they did a good job. And not everybody there is, so it's worth noting who's doing a good job.
Oh, how would you do as a brewer in Paris?
Frankly, I might have ended up being one of the best home brewers in Paris, which is a sad state of affairs, isn't it? It's changing a lot. 5 years ago, it was I didn't find a single good beer, and now I found several good beers. So it's like every burgeoning beer scene, I think, really. It takes a little bit of time.
The question had to be asked.
Yeah.
The question really is going to be, how does this beer taste compared to how it tasted when you were there?
All right, I haven't tasted it yet. I mean, I brought it straight. Okay, so this is their Nelson Sauvin IPA, right? Nelson being the type of hop. It's a pretty unique hop, so I think you have to start by liking the Nelson already.
Starting to like the Nelson.
What do you guys think?
Oh, it smells like Nelson.
Shoe Bros and Koen?
But I have no allegiance to any of these breweries, so don't feel like you can't say what you feel about the beer.
It reminds me more of a saison than of an IPA.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Okay, now so an IPA. What are the limits? Your IPA is going to either be English or American. I mean, those are there.
Well, to the French, they don't really give a shit. So,
what about is the Belgian IPA a real style, or is it just a stronger Belgian beer?
Well, I don't think that a Belgian. I would call a Belgian IPA style. If you're asking me, I don't think this is a Belgian IPA. This is a French. It was a French IPA, I suppose.
It uses
laugh
French
at
yeast,
that.
right?
Yeah.
French yeast.
I'm thinking step mash would have made this even better.
Should have stepped up the mash.
Oh, yeah.
I like this beer. It's a bit, as Nicole would say, it's got a little lemon zesty zing to it.
Yeah.
Lemony zesty zing.
Does it taste like it did when you were there, though?
It's worth saying.
I didn't have it when I was there.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I had
Oh.
different Salive when I was there.
You brought us the best of the best, or you just brought us some stuff?
I brought you what was available.
He brought us what he didn't drink when he was there.
I brought you what was available. This is another brewery that they can't keep it on the shelf. It sells out.
So it was the last.
Now they're small batches too. Keep that in mind. It's not like they're brewing 30 barrels and then they can't keep it on the shelf. They're often they're 7-barrel brew systems and they can't.
So the last day when you're running around, I got to bring shit back. And
Yeah.
you're running around going.
I went to Simone's beer shop and actually he didn't even have it on the shelf. He gave me the last 2 of his personal stash of this.
Oh,
one.
you didn't have to run through Safeway and grab what they had.
Safeway,
whatever they have in Safeway.
If you go to Safeway, you get Kronenberg and some other shitty beer. I don't know.
They're Budweiser.
Yeah, both of them are their Budweisers. No, nobody likes this one, huh?
Well, you're putting words in our mouth.
I'm asking you right now. Answer the question. Jesus. Anybody like it?
Thanks for bringing
Everyone's
it.
going for the fourth case.
I like
it. It's all right. I don't.
It has an interesting honey nose to it.
Yeah.
The initial hit on the nose is honey. It's
Thank
almost
you.
like a clover honey.
Thank you for bringing it all the way from France.
That's a clean.
So you don't like it, Doc? Just speak plain English.
I wish I was there drinking it with you.
You can't answer the question.
No.
Tasty? What do you think?
I like it. It's a fair. It's really pretty clean. Has a little bit of yeasty character to it. I think it's probably in the cloudiness, but yeah, it's good beer.
What don't you like, Doc?
It's kind of cloying and it's honey-like.
You get the honey thing too.
Yeah,
yeah.
You don't think that super that bitter, that hop bite cuts that honey? Because this doesn't taste cloying to me at all. Because there's that big hop character kind of overwhelms it.
If this was a home brewer, we'd be having a sidebar over there.
You'd want to talk to him about his process
Yeah.
or something.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
So you think this is a fundamentals issue?
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely. Tasty says it's clean. It's drinkable. Thank you for bringing it all the way from France.
What a dick. Koen, do you know this brewery?
No.
No. So you can say what you feel.
No,
too.
he wouldn't admit it if he did.
Yeah. I don't know any French small breweries.
No, not even.
Except
He doesn't know any French people.
I know a lot of French wineries. So.
Oh, yeah.
See?
You must, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's good beer. I don't have the problems with it everybody else does. I think it is a little... I get that honey thing now that you pointed out. I was thinking lemony before, but I guess it's a bit of both. I think a lot of it is the Nelson hops, too. I don't know if I can pick out what else is going on in there. It doesn't seem like a process problem. Seems like maybe a recipe problem. But if someone could point out a process problem to me, I'd be happy to know what it is.
He didn't
If I knew what style, would it say what style it is?
It just says Nelson Sauvignon IPA.
It's an IPA. Okay, so it's an IPA.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's like pulling teeth right now, trying to figure out what's going on with this beer.
ABV?
Sorry, Tasey?
ABV? Seems a little low for an IPA.
Yeah.
Could be.
Which the
He's
balance
got another
isn't
set
there.
of glasses? What do you change your glasses every month?
I'm going blind, Tasty. There.
He just came back from France.
Actually, I saw those glasses. I saw the glasses sitting there. I was wondering if you could actually put them on.
I don't see the ABV anywhere, actually. Oh, here it is. 6%.
Right in there.
Just there.
Yeah.
5.9, it would have been a pale.
I find it interesting that no one really likes it, but no one can actually say what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
That's why I keep
There's nothing wrong with
poking
it.
at you
There's
guys.
nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
So maybe it is just the Nelson hop. Then.
Okay. How about this?
It's just not a great. It's
There's
not
nothing wrong.
It's not a great
recipe.
IPA.
There's
yeah.
nothing wrong
It's just
with
not a
it.
great. We're so spoiled here.
That's what I'm trying to. That's all I'm trying to
There's
get
nothing
at.
wrong
You're
with
asking
it.
the wrong guys.
There's nothing right with it.
All right, let's try this one. Now, this is the Italian beer.
Antonia.
I'll tell you, the 680 IPA is far, far better. I have to say that.
Oh, that's a great beer.
It's a great beer.
Yeah.
Delicious.
This is Antonia Barrel Aged. It's from Birra del Borgo. I'm probably saying that wrong, of course, as I
Of course you
normally
would.
do.
You're supposed to.
Excuse me. Now, this one, I haven't had any of the beers from the brewery. I could not find it in Italy. I bought this in France. It was recommended to me as a good Italian beer example. So I grabbed it. I brought 2 bottles, both of different kinds. I just grabbed this one for you guys because it was barrel aged. I thought maybe we'd like it because it's barrel aged. We'll see.
This is a big boy. ABV 11.2.
Is that what it says on there?
Yep.
Oh, great. It
Yep, 11.2%. Imperial, it's listed basically as a barrel-aged Imperial IPA of Italian descent.
So you said you didn't have this one either. You just got this for the trip?
Yeah. No, I just grabbed on my way out. After having nothing but bad Italian beer, I went back to the beer shop in France to Simone, and I said, "Hey, I hear all this stuff about good Italian beer. Can you send me home with some? I'd like to try one because I haven't had one yet." And this is what he sent me home with: this one and another bottle. So, well, it doesn't smell like hops.
No, not at all.
No,
Doesn't taste like
no,
it either.
it's not. No, that's not the smell I'm getting.
Some other smell.
Some yogurt, lactic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little lactic, a little cheesy even.
Well, it looks like it's a barrel-aged Calvados.
Like Justin's toes.
Yes.
So, I guess Calvados barrels, maybe?
I think so. Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, this is a
Is that a
lactic
wine barrel?
fermentation.
It's an apple, I believe.
Apple barrel?
Like apple
Jack.
brandy?
Yeah,
Apple Jack, apple brandy, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that impart apple flavors, right? Which is not desirable?
It smells a little bit like apple pie. I'll give it that.
But do you want it to smell like apple pie?
No.
Ananas.
I haven't tasted it yet.
Well,
It's
we're
just
not
a
sure
little
yet.
Ananas. Pineapple? I don't know. Ananas.
Oh, yeah.
Ananas is pineapple.
Pineapple.
Ah.
Yes.
Koen is making gestures with his hands like a stem is growing out of his head.
Koen, your charade's better than your English when you do that. So it has palm tree in it? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. With a yellow heart.
Well, a lot of pineapple.
Yeah. Now that you say that.
Melon?
But I could see that from the Calvados barrel.
I kind of like this beer too, but I wouldn't call it an Imperial IPA.
No, I would never guess that.
Fuck no.
I don't know what I'd call it.
Oh, no.
Did it say it was an Imperial IPA?
Yeah. I think that's what it's listed. Because it's an 11% beer. You don't taste the alcohol in it.
No, you don't. A lot of other things, but
Instead, you taste the pineapple.
yeah, it's like
It's like a Belgian Golden Strong without the Belgian yeast.
yeah.
It's sweeter.
No.
It's very. It's
I'm trying. I'm
very sweet.
grasping
That's
at
why the
straws.
alcohol
exactly.
is masked to the sweetness.
Yeah.
Oh my.
It's very, very sweet. It's a dessert beer.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect in the tiny glasses that we're having.
Yes.
You have a couple sips of it for dessert.
Yeah,
and
my
then
glass
that's
isn't
right.
quite tiny.
I wouldn't want a pint. By the way, it came in a small, a tiny little bottle too. So it's basically a 12-ounce beer in a fancy bottle. The Italians like to do things fancy.
It's a cute bottle. I like it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's all right.
Yeah, it's just sweet because it could be hoppier is what is going on with it, I think. It's just under-hopped.
I wonder if it had been sitting around for a long time or if it's
Well, they could've
just
dropped out.
under-hopped in general.
Well, you said it's barrel-aged, so
Yeah.
don't the hops drop out in the barrel then?
Yeah.
How could they not?
No, they would.
I mean, would you barrel age a double IPA at either of your breweries?
Unless you
Brews?
finish it. You know, you're using dry hops in the bright tank.
Right.
Let it sit on some hops for a couple days.
I do think people do, to answer your question, it happens. People barrel-age double IPAs, yeah.
But they
it's
hop
not
on
the
the back
best
end.
decision. Or they hop on the back end.
Right.
Or you're expecting it to drop out. You know
Right,
those
right.
barley wines we get all the time that I say, well, that's a double IPA?
Yes.
Well, if they age that, it turns into this. You know, the hops disappear. And you happy about this one too, Doc?
Oh, look at the look on his face.
No. It's like I'm mixing tigers and lions and penguins.
What?
Nothing goes together in this thing.
I see.
It's not bad, but
it's not good.
I think
it's like it's like
It also has a champagne
It's got this hearts of palm kind of taste to it.
I don't even know what those are.
Well, it's a sweet but kind of a thick mouthfeel.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think it would combine very well with creme brulee.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dessert beer.
It would elevate the beer better.
Yeah.
It would get it better.
This is a thing that you also do, Koen, is food and beer pairings,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I teach it.
It's not a bad beer. It's just when you expect,
It's just weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So
It's interesting to combine it.
You want to pair it with something like creme brulee?
It'd be good.
Yeah. That'd be yeah.
Where do you do your beer and food pairings? Like as a course or something?
Yeah, it's a adult education program. It's called Sintra, and it's quite intense. So
Okay.
it's part of the education program for the cytologists.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
so,
it.
It's a long way. They are tortured with food and beer.
Yeah. Sounds fantastic. All right, well, that's what I brought. I brought some other things, too, that I'll bring in next time. Maybe it'll be just as awesome.
And you said this was in lieu of the Cantillon?
Yeah, well, because why bring back the same things all the time? We got to try some new things.
This coming from the guy who orders nothing but Pale 31 at his own beer bar because you stick with what you know.
But if I'm going to... But the Cantillon I found, we get all of it here now. I did not see a new Cantillon. If I had seen a new Cantillon, I would have brought it home. But I didn't. So I thought, well, let's bring home stuff that I know we haven't tried before.
Well, this is not bad beer. It's just, it's this beer. And
that's weird.
It is out there.
Yeah.
On the fringe.
Yeah.
I get no bad taste. I get no diacetyl. I get no off flavors, no bad stuff. It's like,
which is better than all the other Italian beer I had.
Yeah. So it's not that. It's just,
yeah.
And you came up with an awesome thing. It's like, let's pair it with food.
Sure.
Yeah.
Definitely needs food.
Well, here's what I find interesting about the whole process of trying beer in Europe that are based on American styles. Because all the beer that we tried were listed as American styles, right? I think that Europeans are excited about American styles of beer, and they've tried it. They know what it tastes like, and they're just giving it a shot. And I find that fascinating, and I think it's fun. So a lot of the beers that I was trying when I was in France and Italy were all listed as American-style beers. Some of them as pale ales, some of them as amber ales, some of them as IPAs. They often did not fit. In fact, they never fit the BJCP style guidelines that we're used to. But I think it's cool that it's kind of their interpretation on it. And sometimes it was a total failure.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like these, I think, they were not a failure. They're just nothing that you would think of as a double IPA or an IPA.
Exactly.
But I think it's still pretty cool. We're influencing people about trying new beers, and they're giving it a go. And there are other obstacles that they face, too. I got to talk to the brewers about that. For one, finding fresh hops. They do get American hops, but who knows what state they're in by the time they get them. And so I found that kind of interesting. And then, like you found, Mike, sometimes they're having to use Belgian malts, but they're trying to do American-style IPAs, for example. So they've got these other malts, and then maybe they got American hops, and they're putting these two together. It's not the same.
Exactly. And I think part of it, too, is some of the expectations. They're getting American beers that are trucked across the U.S.
Yes.
They're put on a boat.
Yes.
They're sitting on a dock in Europe for a couple weeks. Then
Right.
They go. They don't have the refrigeration that we do here.
Yeah.
Everything, all the beer's warm stored.
They don't even have electricity, I don't think.
Barely. They have windmills.
No, but this is a good point you
and
make.
I think it's expectations. And it's the beer. I mean, we had some American hoppy beers over there.
Yeah.
And they were all oxidized.
Interesting. I never even thought about that.
So when you so think about that for a second, really put it into perspective, because if you're a brewer who's never had fresh American IPA,
sure,
but you've had American IPA delivered over there, maybe that's maybe you produced exactly what you tasted.
No kidding.
Like it.
Just Racer. I'm just throwing this out there because it's not a real example.
It's not a Racer 5 round trip.
Racer
It's gonna
5
taste like that.
in Paris is
this beer.
Where's you might go? Hey, where the fuck did the hops go?
Did you try one in Paris?
I didn't. That's
You should
I'm
have
just
brought that
throwing it
back
out
as
there.
well. You should have
I'm
brought a Racer 5 back.
but these are some of the beers they can get. So maybe they really are emulating the fucking beer they had.
Isn't that
You
interesting?
should come here then.
Hey, Justin.
Well,
you
and
should
come try
here.
it. Yeah. Agreed. And so that's why I like bringing them beer. So I brought 2 suitcases full of beer there, a fresh 22-ounce bottle. I only brought IPA because that's what they're interested in. I brought a shitload of IPA. And every time you could see the look on their faces going,
Did you give any?
how did they do that? Where are those hops from?
Anything to the Italians?
I didn't meet any Italian
Oh,
brewers.
well, because that's why
Yeah.
you got shitty Italian.
I
beer.
didn't meet any Italian brewers. I was doing the tourist thing by the time I got to Italy. So in France, I do the local thing, but I did the tourist thing. So
suitcase.
But it's a good point that you make, Mike, because maybe they're just in some cases emulating it. Well, they don't add more hops because they're not tasting more hops.
Yeah. And then it's warm stored, too.
Although, Koen, you're right. Then come over here and taste fresh beer.
Well, that was a good point that Mike gave out. Like in the brewery Golden Sport, we are installing now a cool cell.
Yeah.
They had some nice hops sitting out.
Yeah. Got to keep those things cold. Well, and at the
sitting out.
By the way, at the beer bars too, which I gave a lot of props to in the beginning, a lot of respect. I do think they're doing great things with beer. The traditional draft system in France, anyway, is just that the beer is in the basement and it's pumped up. It's not. There's no cold box in the basement. It goes through a
cooler, a serpentine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's cold.
That is changing.
But the beer's not kept cold. Is it?
It's changing, yeah.
And that's a good... I do know that they were aware of it. We talked about it. And
they are building like new cooling systems, but the problem is it can only contain like 20 liters. And for some beers, they produce it in like 50-liter things. But that mostly is for Pilsners, so... that's not important.
Yeah,
it's like 0.5 hectoliter.
But that'll change things too. Is you know, because American beers have to be stored cold. I mean, it's just the way it is. Anyway, I find the whole process fascinating. To me, it's like looking at two different periods of time at once. Right? I'm tasting beer here, and it wasn't all that long ago that our beer here kind of sucked too. And we weren't doing IPAs right, and we didn't know how to do it. And so going over there, it's a bit like stepping back in time. People are excited about beer, and they're trying to figure it out. And some of it's good, and some of it sucks. And that's how we are too. Or at least it's how we were.
Yeah.
I just think it's fun.
And we still look at Europe with great admiration, too.
Absolutely.
You know, look at all the Belgian beers, the sours.
No, we're trying to make those beers, too.
And we try to make them here.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I wonder how we're doing.
Wee stuff.
It's wee. Right? It's back to wee. The cleaning's been done. It's
Then we should use multiple mashing steps.
You know? Buy me a multiple step mash tun.
And I'll tell you what.
The euro is strong now.
That's right, yeah. You gained 30 cents.
I will ship it in a cooler.
Well, with our Belgian styles and our sour beers, yes, there are a handful of breweries that are getting very, very good at it. In fact, on the world stage, right?
Yeah.
But there's still so many more that are still figuring it out. So it's kind of the same thing. We're figuring out the Belgian beers, and over there they're figuring out our hoppy beer.
I think about the sour stuff, it takes a long time, and probably most brewers are not patient enough.
No, most Americans in general are not patient enough. We want things now. Yeah. No, I think you're right about that. In fact, we've done some great interviews about brewers talking about how they make sour beers faster. You know how they.
Why would you do that?
I know, a good question. But people talk about it because we're American. That's why. Bigger, faster, better.
No history.
No history. Yeah, it's bigger, bigger, faster. Our history is Burning Man. Well, that's what we have. That's the longest history we have.
That's also my history.
With America, right?
Our old stuff is your new stuff.
All right. Well, that was fun. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to get through our feedback.
Yay.
And then we'll take a break. I know you guys got to get out of here, so if you got a couple minutes for me to do feedback with you, we'll take a break. I got some food for you coming, too, if you can chow down on your way out of here.
Looking forward to it.
All right, let's do the feedback. Feedback's brought to you today by our good friend John over at the Beer Law Center. You can go to beerlawcenter.com, and he's the guy who takes care of our trademark. Our Hop Grenade is being taken all the time. In fact, I saw a French brewery while I was out there that apparently
another one,
had made some T-shirts with our Hop Grenade on it, and they knew about us.
You didn't punch anybody out, did you?
Jan had brought over. He wore his shirt over there, and they were like, and they go, hey, that's fucking cool. And then he goes back 6 months later, and they got shirts.
So it's Jan's fault.
But
he should have a cease and desist right on his shirt.
Seriously. Yeah. But our good friend John over at Beer Law Center, he'll take care of your trademark. It's getting important as the market gets kind of busy. BeerLawCenter.com. Go check it out.
Koen, don't let us find out that there's a new Hop Grenade Belgian Dark Strong coming out of your brewery. Please.
Yeah.
Well, let's work together then.
There you go. That's all I ask.
Yeah. Let's use that word we.
All right. Andrew writes in, hey, my wife and I are in the process of moving to San Diego from Seattle. We just put our place in the market. And sure enough, our agent informed us the kegerator was quite a conversation piece. I thought it was kind of a joke until I found it listed in an appliance as an appliance, including in our offer.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, so now I'm torn as to how to counteroffer. Let this be a lesson to everyone. Don't spend money on staging. Just listen to the Brewing Network. Build a sweet kegerator and put it in the middle of your house with pint glasses on open house day.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Or that's a good point.
It's that, honey, I got to have this place.
Yeah, because usually, it's, the kitchen is just right or whatever. Just throw a fucking kegerator in.
Well, they always say, what's staying, what's going.
Yeah.
And you got to list everything.
Yeah.
And when the husband
the kegerator stays.
You can build another kegerator.
Yeah.
Lose the house.
All right, Andrew, thanks for the note.
And he asked for advice, I think, I don't know how to counter. I would say counter and include beer. Add another $5,000, ask for another $5,000, and include the kegerator and a case of your whatever. I'm sure you're barrel aging something, right?
Not a bad idea. All right, Chris writes in from Colfax, California. A couple of years ago, a listener suggested that the upcoming schedule for the session be posted on the website. You said, sure, no problem. I don't think that ever happened, from Chris.
It did happen. I haven't updated it for September, but if you look in the bottom left corner, the show schedule, I have been keeping up with that, although not in the last week. So it's possible that he looked on September 3 and fired off an angry email.
There you go.
But normally, yes. And also, I mean, it's a lot of other places too, right? You can find it on the Hop Grenades webpage. Does Livestream do a future shows or just current?
It does, but I don't keep up on that.
Can you make it for easy for us dummies?
Okay.
It's on the bottom left of the homepage every time, and it says schedule.
Yes.
Oh, good, because I just go off of your calendar because I'm on your calendar.
That's about as easy. But it says on the homepage, if you scroll down, it says schedule.
That's it.
Okay, fine.
I don't know how to make it easy.
It's under the thing.
Can you download it right into their...
People want it tattooed to the back of their eyelids.
Well,
right?
no,
they fall asleep
click,
this, and they're like, there's a show.
Click a button, and it gets right into their calendar.
Yeah, well,
sure. I'll get right on it.
All right. Jeremy writes in, hey to the BN, a longtime listener and homebrewer. The BN has been the best source for up-to-date and accurate information about brewing. After 3 years of homebrewing, the opportunity to go pro presented itself, and I jumped at it. 3 friends and I opened our brewery in Richmond, Virginia, back in April of 2014, and yesterday we took home 3 medals, 2 silvers, and a bronze out of the 4 beers we entered in the statewide Virginia Craft Brewers Fest. Good job. Yeah. The BN's, without a doubt, been a huge reason for our early success in the competition, from Jeremy. Well, congrats, man. Thanks for listening. All right, let's see. Scott writes in, hey, Brewcasters, just a quick thank you for the fantastic flaming lawn darts full of brewing knowledge you've chucked across the internet over the years. All right. Information provided by your shows, et cetera, has been really good. Since I'm apparently a brewmaster now, I've quit my job, remortgaged my house, and cashed out my retirement and the kids' college savings to set up my own craft brewery. Unfortunately, I'm still about $1 million and 12 recipes shy and have no business plan. I'm sure, though, that the unsolicited checks from investors will arrive soon and provide the funds I need to casually finish planning this venture. Thanks for giving me the courage to leverage my family's future to pursue my marginally considered week-long dream. The BN rocks. I don't know what most of that means, other than you probably shouldn't have done it.
Well, send me an email. I will send you recipes.
Okay.
Well, and don't.
I'm not helping any farther than that. I will send you recipes.
Don't worry about the kids' college fund either. College is just a waste, so that's probably a good thing. Everything else, though, at the house, maybe should have hung on to that.
Yeah. Here's a drunken one from an Australian.
Follow your dream.
Sent from my iPad. Says, I just started listening. I'm from Aussie Down Neuter. I'm a brewer. Give me a shout out. Andrew Kerr. There you go.
Hey, Andrew.
Drunken Australia.
Yo.
Hey, Justin. Thanks for the hours of infotainment the last years. I've been a podcast listener since January. Currently catching up in the old episodes. A lot of fun. Quality homebrewing info. I just became a recurring donor. Thank you for that. It came out expensive to buy merch. I think he's from Norway. I wanted the merch shipped to Norway.
But not Finland.
He bought a onesie for his spawn. Cost $13.95. To get to Norway, $30.
Oh, man.
This is what I'm talking about with the shipping. He bought a hoodie, originally $40. $86 to get it to Norway.
Wow.
Two T-shirts, originally 2 times $18.95, $82 to get to Norway.
Ouch.
He says, the reason, first I pay U.S. tax and shipping, then I pay Norwegian VAT as the package goes through customs, which is a total of $199. Anyway, he still loves it and says thanks.
So it's not even the transportation and the ships and everything. It's the taxes on both ends?
Well, part of it is the biggest part is our shipping fee. If you buy a T-shirt for fucking $18, I think our store charges you almost $30 to ship it. So that's part. But then, then it's VAT on top of it.
So, right. Okay. So it would be mostly, because it doesn't seem unreasonable to, the onesie, it's still more than the onesie costs, but $30 for a onesie shipped to your door across the globe, that doesn't seem that bad to me.
The
that
onesie,
seems reasonable.
You know how much fabric is in a onesie? It's like your collar.
Right. I know it's like 12 cents worth of material, but you got to pay a donkey to walk it all the way to Norway, right? I mean, that doesn't, just like when you send a letter, it's not 42 cents is reasonable, isn't it?
I guess, but
hell yes.
Well, first we paid an 8-year-old in China to make it. And then, it got delivered.
His family.
And then it got delivered to us.
Right.
And then, I don't know. It's just expensive.
It should be shipped from China.
It should be just shipped direct from China. Yeah. By an 8-year-old.
I think the moral is just get rid of all your other shirts and just buy more. So
right.
It's probably
you save on shipping.
Exactly.
Buy in bulk.
Yeah.
It's probably cheaper to have the Chinese kid wear it and just fly him over to wherever it's going.
Buy him a plane ticket?
Fly the kid to deliver it?
Yeah.
That's true. You can buy a plane ticket for like $800.
Yeah. And then just,
3 T-shirts. 4 pairs of shoes.
Yeah, the kid gets a new home while he's at it. Yeah.
It's better than China.
And working pace, you mean.
And Koen makes a good point. He can wear multiple pairs of pants and shirts.
To look like an adult.
Yeah, right. The more clothes he wears, the bigger he gets.
And then he can work here.
Yes, that's right. As long as he passes for, 15, he can work here.
Or a little person.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's no solution, though, right? If you live in, Norway, you just got to pay or not have the
As
list,
of now, there's no solution. In fact, there are certain items that we won't even do international shipping on, like our growlers, which are pretty badass. They're just too bulky. They're not heavy. It's aluminum. No, it's stainless. Sorry, but they're just still super light. It's too expensive.
What was his name?
This guy?
Yeah.
I don't know. I moved on.
Can you ship them from France when you go there again?
No.
Could you gift them to Jan and he could ship them?
There's no name.
All right. Well, whatever your name is, just you got to come to the Hop Grenade. You got to make a visit to California.
Oh,
well,
and then you can buy everything you want.
And this is why, for Australians, our trip to Australia is such a big deal with our Indiegogo campaign, because we're just putting the shit in our suitcases. So, so by the way, Tasty, with that flight that you got, you're lugging shit. You're muling.
He's muling.
What do I have to bring?
We're all muling.
I do get another bag. It looks like
we're all muling BN merch over for the Indiegogo campaign.
But I'll bring my bag over. You fill it up.
Forget the bag. No, you got to keister it.
Yeah,
we're not paying for check bags. Tasty.
You gotta. It's you gotta. Only the growlers
up his bum.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
No, don't worry. Don't worry.
It'll probably work.
Don't worry. Tasty's going to end up on Locked Up Abroad.
My kids are going to go, is that Tasty?
We got a buddy who works for Qantas, Brandon.
Shh. I don't think he wants everyone to know that.
Oh, I see.
We do, but I don't think... He said he could help us a little, but... Not that much. No. We're going to give you the growler full of cocaine and weed. Tasty.
I'm going to run into that beagle at the other end, aren't I?
It's all right. It's stainless. It's sealed. It has that rubber. You're going to be fine. You're going to be good.
I've been known to take chances.
Here's how I calculate.
I have my own contraband course.
Well, I looked at the list of people going, and I was like, well, Tasty will spend the least amount of time in jail because he's going to die soon.
Well, that's true. If they give me life, it's not that
long. Yeah. So I was like, if we got to get Coke over there, we're sending it with Tasty.
What if they do that thing where they give you multiple lifetimes?
Right.
You know, sometimes they'll do that
That'd
for
be great.
really heinous crimes.
Then do we have to back him up? Is that what happened? Tasty dies and they just call us.
One of us goes
next.
Like when the goalie takes a penalty, someone else has got to go serve. You know.
Maybe so.
Is it like in Belgium that you can be released after 1/3 of your sentence? So that might be after maybe 2 years.
That's true. Oh, Tasty be lucky to make it that far, though, Koen.
Yeah.
2 years. You know, Tasty, one day when you do die, and
comes up on every show, which is all right, but
and I'm at your funeral,
what are you gonna have?
And I want to say nice things.
You can say, well, you can if you want.
You're not going to say nice.
I will say, I will want to say nice things, but everyone in the audience who listens to the show is going to look at me and go, he's been telling the guy he's going to die for years now. He can't stand up there and say nice things. He's been an asshole.
Well, that's what you first got to explain.
No, you can't. After you stand up to go,
you have to explain yourself.
Okay,
I'll have to go. So listen, it's not that I
say it was a stick. You know,
it was a stick. I mean,
they'll be like my relatives go in there like, who's this asshole?
He's the ass. Yeah, he's the guy who kept saying he's going to die. That's. I'm going to feel terrible up there.
Don't.
Nah.
I want you up there, by the way. I demand it.
I'll give a good one for you.
It'll be like a beer fest with like 30,000 people by the way. It's not going to be a funeral.
Right.
Yeah.
Bunch of chicks.
It's in my will that way. Oh, yeah. A lot of crying chicks. That's going to be required.
I'm going to have to do some consoling, I think.
You have a dress code for all the women, too.
There'll be a lot of hugs.
Write it in your will.
Yeah.
So they're all be singing, you can't always get what you want.
Right.
Can you imagine all those chicks screaming, "Take me," throwing themselves on the coffin?
Why? Wait a minute.
Why? You were so young.
All right, Tasty. Well, I hope you don't die that soon.
I hope not either.
All right, let's go to break. Feedback's brought to you today by Beer Law Center. Guys, thanks for coming to the program.
Wait.
I know you got to go. We got a phone call?
Yeah, Jade and Roberto on the phone wanted to talk to Shoe Rose.
Okay. Let's do it. Phone call from Michael from Shoe Bros. Jade and Roberto. What's happening, guys?
Hey, how you doing?
We're doing all right. What's happening?
Doing well.
Yeah, not much of it. We're on our way up to Yakima, and we're at McMinims in Bend. And
yeah, know the place.
We've been doing so long. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Doing well, thank you. Good to hear from you.
Awesome. Good talking to you too.
Do you have a question, Jade, or are you just hanging out with us?
You know, I'm kind of like just hanging out with Bears. Like, we got a call. Shoe Roast is on. We got a call. And it's like, okay.
Okay.
So she's just hanging out.
You know, we have to. Well, yeah, we are just kind of hanging out. I mean, you know, we got to tell you, Shoe Roast. We love Shoe Roast. We don't get over there as often as we should or want to. And Shoe Roast did us a couple of favors a little while back. God love you, Mike.
Happy to help.
And this, we love their beers. I love the Nico, and I'm not a wheat beer person, and I just, and the 680 IPA, yum yum.
I haven't had the Nico. Of course, I had the 680 tonight, but I've never had the Nico.
We'll have to change that.
Yeah, that's your first one, you said.
That was our first beer. Yeah.
Okay. Wheat with rye.
Correct.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's named after my daughter.
What color is it?
It's a nice golden color.
Okay.
It's a filtered American beer, so it's that American wheat style beer, but then it has that rye that just adds a little more dimension to the beer.
Okay.
So it adds that spicy dry.
How much rye, percentage-wise?
It's about 10.
Just enough to get a little spice?
Enough to balance out the wheat. You know, really trying to just make balance in my beer, even things out.
There's the sharp versus the softness.
Yeah, and it's interesting as go along. I'll play with different ryes and see how they change, and it's actually interesting looking at, you know, the American grown rye versus an English rye versus a German rye, and there's actually dramatic differences in the ryes.
The kernel shape and all that, or is it just
more than just the flavor,
really.
the impact. You know, I guess it
spiciness.
To use the wine term terroir, there's a terroir of grain.
Yeah, like an appellation.
And yeah, I think everyone knows that, but it's interesting.
Can you deal with that in percentage-wise? Because one has more flavor. You know, rye is real spicy. So
yeah.
Can you...
So I've noticed that the English rye is really spicy. It's very sharp, very spicy. German has a little bit more of a muted spiciness to it. It's a little bit huskier. American, it's not as impactful.
Yeah.
I would
So
say.
is it the same kind of flavor impact, and you can dial it in or out, which is with pretty much the percentage you put in?
You could, but I don't know. I've actually started.
Well,
I've started blending the rye.
We all can't. We,
you do? Like different.
Yeah, so I'll take a couple different sources and I'll blend it.
Yeah, as homebrewers, we're not going to be able to have sources where we can get all three of those.
Yeah.
But if we can get one, can we dial it in, dial it out with just a percentage basis?
Without knowing where your source is?
Well, let's just say...
I think the American, if you want that impact, you need to go a little bit higher.
Okay.
Again, it's dependent on what else you have going on. You can't make a generalized statement.
Yeah, for me...
It's like a dry hop. How much dry hop do you want? Well, what's the base beer?
A lot.
Yeah, for me, 10% is low.
It is, but it's a wheat beer.
Right.
It's rye. I didn't want to make a rye beer. It's purposely just enough to balance out that wheat sweetness.
Hey, Jade.
Yep.
Will Roberto get a Shoe Bros tattoo, you think?
Oh, gosh, I got to tell you, Shubros did us a huge favor, but you know what? Seriously, Mike, you, Ian, everybody, God love you, saved our asses.
It's a nice logo. Maybe Roberto should thank him by getting a tattoo on his neck. Right on his neck.
Not tattoo. Not tattoo worthy. Right as Adam's apple.
All right. But Jade,
his beard.
All right, Jade.
We're very happy to help. We're glad to help out. It's great to hear from you. Drive safe.
Thanks, Jade.
You guys have a great night.
All right, you too.
And we'll talk to you later.
All right, you too. Be safe. Jade and Roberto from Hop Tech Homebrew, of course, great sponsors of the program and good people all around. All right, let's take a break. I know you guys got to get out of here. I want to thank you again for being on the program. Koen, Mike, thanks for coming in and hanging out with us.
You're welcome.
I know it's a long show, so it's good to just sit around and talk beer with you guys.
It's great to be here. Glad to be here.
Thank you.
And thanks for sharing. You can still get Shoe Bros beer on tap here at the Hop Grenade. We've got the triple on, and we've got the 680 IPA right now, and it probably will be here for another day or two. We go through beer pretty quick, so get down here and give it a shot. You guys are going to brew before you leave, Koen, or what?
Yeah. Yes.
You leave Thursday.
Yeah, I will brew on Wednesday.
But you're brewing Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the beer that you're brewing again?
We're going to brew the Hugelier.
Okay.
It's a Koen's beer.
It's Koen's own. He won't tell us what it is or what the ingredients are.
Saltish, chocolate, vanilla,
It's mystery wrapped in an enigma.
We'll see what happens. Barrel-aged stuff. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited about it. And then are you coming back in December to release it?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll come back to the Hop Grenade then.
We'll have it on here.
I will.
We'll put it on tap. We'll talk to you guys about it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, love to.
All right,
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you for inviting us.
Yeah.
All right, check them out, guys. Go taste the beer, hang out with them. Good people hanging out with us. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got beer news to do, right?
Yes.
And that's about it. So
no Twitter games or nothing that kind of
no,
stuff?
JP's on vacation. When we come back, we're going to play Guess Where JP Went on Vacation.
Oh, three guesses, and the first two don't count.
Very difficult game. If you can win...
We have to have a game.
If you win the game, Koen will fly you to Belgium. That's the prize
In my
tonight.
suitcase.
It is suitcase.
We will do that.
All right, hang in there. It's the session. We'll be right back, live from the Hop Grenade.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
The best thing to happen to brewer's yeast in a century is from White Labs. For pro brewers and home brewers, yeast in the new Pure Pitch package powered by FlexCell technology redefines how fresh your yeast can really be. That's because your yeast is cultured, grown, and delivered all in the same Pure Pitch package. It's never been transferred and never been exposed to the environment. Pure Pitch is powered by White Labs' proprietary FlexCell container, which took 6 years to develop and is designed to be the best home your yeast has ever traveled in. Just cut open a Pure Pitch package and pitch the purest yeast possible. Learn more about Pure Pitch, powered by Flex Cell technology, at whitelabs.com. And while you're there, sign up for one of the many great classes White Labs offers, like Yeast Essentials 2.0, coming up August 22nd and 23rd, or any one of their great workshops for brewers, distillers, and vintners. Pure Pitch from White Labs. 6 years to develop, refine, and perfect. 2 seconds to open.
Hey, Wooly, I'm beat. Can we find a nice tree to just hang out in for a while?
You're beat. I've been swinging through this forest for 50 years, ever since we first escaped from the circus. I know, but there's got to be more to life than exploring this creek and trying to populate the valley by copulating with loose, hairy girls. Marquis, stop. Look.
What is that?
It looks like a man-made treehouse
with fresh food
and craft beer.
Welcome to the Creek Monkey Tap House, boys. Grab a seat. Creek Monkeys drink free.
Awesome!
The Creek Monkey Tap House in Martinez, California takes their mission of fresh food and beer seriously. They only serve locally raised beef and chicken, as well as local sustainable produce. It's better for you and the planet, and it just tastes better. The beer and wine at Creek Monkey Tap House are chosen with the same care for the highest quality and rotate frequently to make each visit an adventure. Swing on into the Creek Monkey Tap House and enjoy a new legend of amazing food, beer, and wine. The Creek Monkey Tap House, online at creekmonkey.com.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters, this is Jamel Zanishev, and I love a bold, hoppy beer, one that spits resin in your face and makes you cry uncle. There are a lot of great hoppy beers out there, but at Heretic, we want to make something as bold, dank, and resiny as possible. We use hops at every chance we get, including multiple dry hop additions. The result is Heretic Evil Cousin. This light golden, 8% Imperial IPA has an easy malt character that helps take the edge off the massive bittering, but it takes a back seat to the in-your-face hop character. We make sure this beer finishes dry so the hops can jump out and slam you in the taste buds. If you can't get enough hoppy goodness, Evil Cousin is your cup of tea. Cheers.
Here's a bite for beer lovers. Soft caramel made with real craft brew and coated in chocolate. And Hop Drops, hard candies made with real hop oil. Introducing Beer Candy from beercandy.com. Beer Candy's amazing caramels come in 4 mouth-watering flavors. IPA, bitter gold, wrapped in smooth white chocolate. Lager, made with a familiar beer from Boston and coated in milk chocolate. Lambic, soury Belgian goodness full of fresh raspberry and dipped in dark chocolate. And Stout, roasty cocoa chocolate insanity. Hop Drops are made with Fuggles or Cascade hops and are known as the candy that bites you back. Choose from sampler and full sizes of both and make your mouth jump to life. All at beercandy.com. Hop Drops and beer caramels satisfy your sweet tooth as only a beer lover could with Beer Candy. Visit beercandy.com today.
Segmented, demented, fermented.
It's the session.
All right, welcome back to the program, and thanks so much to Mike and Koen for hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah.
That was a fun show.
Great guys, fun to hang with.
Yeah, good people to hang out. I'm still finishing the triple right now, so that's a good time.
Piece of work.
Yeah.
I'm amazed by that. Amazed.
Beer.
Known you for years. I've never seen you do that.
I know. I like this one. It's just dry enough, and the esters are subtle enough, but they cover up the alcohol. Like Doc was, doing his best to explain.
Maybe it's the dry hop. That's what I think it is.
Yeah, maybe that's the part too. It gives us that added
a
note.
little bit, one more dimension.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe why I brought up Brasserie de la Seine, too, because they do it's Belgian beer that I really enjoy.
And every time I've had it, it's been excellent. Every place, yeah.
Like,
it travels well, I guess.
It travels well. There's something clean about it. I don't know. But anyhow, that was a fun show, and we got invited to Belgium, so that's cool. If we go do that again, we can go have some fun over there. Good to meet people like that. All right, we got I told you before the break we were going to play Guess Where JP is on Vacation, which very difficult game.
I have no idea.
Moscow, when he creates games, he makes them very difficult. Like Beer Jeopardy It's like you have to be fucking Einstein to play. But this game is so much more difficult than even that. How could you know where JP went on vacation?
I wanted it to be doable, but now, as upon reflection, maybe it's just too difficult. I mean...
Yeah. Well, this game, I think, is a bit too difficult. So let's go to our first caller. Who was it?
Scott from Pittsburgh.
Scott from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, California, or Pennsylvania?
I think so.
Hey, Scott. What's happening? Hey, Scott.
Hey-o. How you guys doing?
We're doing all right. How are you, brother?
It's late at night. I am drunk. I'm doing great.
Are you in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, PA.
Okay, Pittsburgh, PA. That's good to know.
I feel like Pittsburgh, California, he'd be at the Hop Grenade.
Yeah, right. You don't call in from Pittsburgh, California. All right, Scott.
No, I would hope so.
Now, where do you think JP went on vacation?
He's thinking.
Definitely thinking.
Scott, what's up? Where are you at?
If he doesn't get it, can I play?
What happened? Did he drop off the line?
Can't play. You know where he's at.
Did Scott pass out or he dropped off the line? His phone died.
Wow. Really? JP doesn't want us to know.
All right. So JP and Bevo, actually, Bevo's on vacation too. But I think we should start
Are they in the same place?
They are at the same place, Tasty, yes. I know. It's ridiculous.
Really? I guess you're doing that once in a while.
Let me just ask you this. Let me just ask. I mean, why not?
Yeah, whatever. They're not here. Let's talk about it.
Can you imagine? Now, I can understand a few times you go to the place.
Sure. Every year, once a year.
But can you imagine that every single time you have a vacation, Tasty?
Yeah.
Every time.
Mm-hmm.
Without exception.
Tasty's closing his eyes to really imagine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to have an out-of-body experience here.
Without exception.
Right.
You go to the exact same place. And can you imagine a world where that's what happens?
I can't, but realistically, I haven't been to this place
since what?
Enough.
Yeah.
Since I had some reason to be there. That is, kids at an age that would appreciate it.
Yeah.
To experience it as an adult.
Okay, so maybe you're missing something.
Yeah,
is what you're
if
saying.
the right combination of shrooms and weed, I could probably get into it. But I don't think that's what these people are doing there.
No. The thing is, I don't have a problem with the destination. Yeah. I just find it fascinating.
It is.
That every single vacation, without a single exception,
it's amazing,
is to the exact same destination.
It must be fucking fun.
And it must be some kind of a thing.
Gee, what a hoot!
I mean, it's not as if we are bereft of passions, right? We all have some things we really love.
I go to France so many times.
Yes, but to the same place in France that's meant for 9-year-olds.
Oh, wait, I just rolled in on this. I'm just guessing we're talking about Disneyland.
No.
Hold the
Doc
calls.
gave it away. Now
everybody
we can't
knows.
Play the game.
Oh, please.
This was you just blew our final segment.
Nobody was going to get it.
No one ever would have guessed we were talking about Disneyland.
You think how many other there's Knott's Berry Farm, there's Raging Waters, there's Magic Mountain, there's a million options.
Oh, come on, JP would go, oh, that's all shit.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I love hockey. I'm a huge Kings fan. And I can't imagine just every time I had a chance, I'm going to Staples Center for a game.
Every vacation.
Once, occasionally, absolutely, that's great. But every time, it's inconceivable. And I'm passionate about things, but it's not conceivable to do the same thing every time. I don't get it.
I find it fascinating. Every time.
Oh, well, okay. If you ask him why each time is unique.
No, I guess I've never asked that question.
There's always some secret door. Is there some sort of insider
that probably would be his
answer.
answer.
Stand on this place for 10 minutes on a certain time.
But even with that
podcast they do.
Even with that, okay, let's say
there is some.
Let's
sort of
assume
insiders.
you're right because you're probably right. So it's a different experience every time. Wouldn't you still want a completely different experience with a new place?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Disney World?
Well, okay.
Compare and contrast.
He's rolling up to Space Mountain.
Love
Space
Mountain.
The dude goes, JP, welcome back.
Your usual seat?
Your usual
Mr.
seat?
Petros?
Would you? I reserved the front.
I'll tell you what, if that doesn't happen, Doc, I'm fucking disappointed.
Oh, yeah. I'll bet in all his favorite eatery places over in downtown Disney.
Mr. Petros.
Mr. Petros.
Would you like your normal extra vat of ketchup with your hot dog?
Yeah.
So maybe that's it. He gets the VIP treatment
Oh.
there.
Should. For going as often as they.
Okay, well,
now,
that could be.
if there was a steakhouse where I got treated like royalty every time I went, I'd be there every Friday.
Well,
You'd go every Friday?
Yeah.
I think it's Joan Rivers.
What's happening?
The late Joan Rivers, who said,
Right.
"What's the best restaurant?"
Too soon.
The one they know you, honey.
Right.
So
there you go. They know him at Disneyland.
Susie, who's on the phone?
Scott is back on the phone.
Oh.
I don't know.
No.
He went to get a beer last time we answered
What's
his
his
call.
guess?
One more chance.
Susie, Scott, where do you think JP's at on vacation?
Oh, well, I was going to say JP is visiting the beautiful Buena Park, California at Knott's Berry Farm.
Oh,
see?
Knott's Berry Farm.
That was my first guess, too.
Yeah. Now, why not change it up and go to Knott's Berry
I love Knott's Berry Farm.
See, Doc loves Knott's Berry Farm.
I grew up probably walking distance from there.
My first roller coaster was Knott's Berry Farm. It was the Corkscrew.
Well, right about now, they're going to be changing it over to Knott's Scary Farm.
Ah, for Halloween.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, Scott, you're not correct.
Yeah, it's
I know.
close.
I know. It's
Well,
hard.
I knew that.
It's hard to believe.
Hey, nice try.
I'll tell you what. Send an email to bevo@thebrewingnetwork.com. Bevo@thebrewingnetwork.com. We'll get you a prize anyway. Thanks, brother.
Now, at least Bevo makes sense because she's got the child, which
And
she's
Abigail too.
right?
Yeah.
Both of them. And we've had conversations about this, and she has explained it is a whole different experience watching the kids' eyes,
right,
and then experiencing it through seeing what they're experiencing and.
Well,
that
again,
makes sense.
First of all, I agree. Second of all, I actually don't have an issue with people like in Disneyland. It's a cool
only
place.
that.
It's just the without fail.
Yes. It's
like one vacation a year. I don't know. Go to Las Vegas.
It's perplexing.
Or
what's the better face? Is it going to be? Is it going to be
another thing?
The kid or JP's face every time?
Yeah, maybe that's.
Yay.
Yeah, was Bevo talking about Abigail or JP when she said experiencing the look of awe on the face?
I don't.
You don't know.
No, you're right. I
don't. Anyway, so JP's on vacation this week at
one more time
Disneyland.
Yeah. Well, I've still been there many more times than he has.
There's also the
Have
part.
you?
There's also because you have the kids.
No, I grew up right next to it.
Oh, okay. Well, there's also the part too.
I've been there quite a bit. When I was, I think I turned 10, something like that, maybe even younger. It was the opening of Captain EO. I saw Captain EO. JP would respect this. I saw Captain EO.
He can name the date
on
the
opening night.
Oh,
it was a Friday. My folks had bought me passes for the weekend, and we went on the Friday, and I saw like the first showings of Captain EO. I loved Disneyland, and then I turned 11.
And you were a year late.
Yeah.
You're a slow developer.
I don't know.
Me and my cousins
Maybe that's
and my
what
brothers,
JP is.
we would get dropped off there early in the day, and was like, "Hey, call me when you want us to pick you up."
Right.
And my cousins were literally 1 mile away, so my parents were over there pretty much just drinking beer and smoking cigarettes.
They're like ready to launch
just,
from there.
whatever, just pick us up. So 4 or 5 times a week in the summer, I was there.
Yeah. Good fun.
Oh, it was.
Anything else, Susie?
We had some guy call in and said he worked at Disneyland and never saw JP there, and he's been looking
Weird.
out for him.
He just stands around looking at it.
That's pretty good.
He's the adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh,
okay. Good to know.
Well, we should probably have
Check the teacups line.
a JP alert thing where JP sightings.
Right.
Man, we could have that.
Photos of JP at...
Where was he? Where was he? Oh, he was here 5 minutes ago.
Where's JP? Yeah.
JP app.
All right, we got to do some beer news, but real quick, let me let you know about our good sponsor over at Adam and Eve. You can go to adamandeve.com right now, and for a limited time, I guess, you get 50% off just about any one item, which is pretty cool. I mean, 50% off
only one
giant item.
A big item?
Is pretty, a big black item. 50% off. That's pretty cool.
A big old butt plug.
50% off one giant double-ended
double-aught
black item. I think that's cool. You can get 50% off just about anything like that. You get free shipping. That's cool.
Even with the big items?
You get 3 free...
Comes in a long box.
Yeah, it's a big... You get 3 free adult DVDs.
Of any genre we would like?
Of pretty much any genre you'd like. I mean, they're all there. You name it, they're there.
Disney characters?
Probably furries. Maybe not Disney.
Oh, and there's probably cartoons.
But there's bound to be a Disney character in the furry thing. Not that I know. I'm just assuming.
Possibly Eeyore.
Suze, what's your favorite category these days?
I like group.
You're into group right now.
Yeah, she's mentioned that before, actually.
Is that big groups or just 3-on-3?
Fun groups?
Oh, yeah?
Fighting any group. I don't care.
The more the merrier.
Yeah.
But as long as everybody has a good time. I also
Have you ever been in a group scenario yourself?
I learned that there's a lunch lady category recently.
A lunch lady
I
category.
was at my friend's work, and we had to suit up with, like,
the hairnet?
goggles,
And the hairnet?
beard nets, and stuff
And
like
there's
that.
a
I'm like,
thing
this is the
for
most
that?
unsexy look ever. And I'm like, there's probably a porn category for this.
That's the thing about some fetishes is it's not about being sexy. It's sometimes it's about the opposite of being sexy, like the duty fetish. Like it's not about that being sexy. It's about how it's disgusting and wrong. So the lunch lady
Lunch
thing,
lady is an
same
actual
thing.
category.
It's that it's wrong.
It's so wrong.
It's that it's taboo.
Mystery meat. Don't eat it.
Don't eat is that the name of the DVD? Lunch ladies, don't eat the meat.
Mystery meat.
Anyway, 3 free adult DVDs, and then free shipping, and and then a gift.
Oh yeah, you get that free mystery gift.
A mystery gift.
It's a pretty cool gift. I've gotten it.
You got it?
Oh yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Do you get different ones too? Like they change it?
Well, I've only done the free thing one time. I guess I could try that again. But
yeah, I still got to put it in order. I haven't put it. I never know.
Really, all this time.
There's too many options. I go looking through and I can't decide.
Where's Pale 31?
That's why you should keep buying more things.
I need this good old Pale 31 option. You know,
they should have like a category. You punch in some weird just word, and they can make up your package.
Yeah, see, now that I would do if I don't have to think about it.
The Pandora of sex stores.
Yes,
just say lunchtime or lunch lady, and they just come up with your free gift.
Don't yawn into the microphone, Tasty.
I'm not that close to it. You did not hear that.
I mean, we're trying to.
Yawning sound effect.
We're in the middle. We're in the middle of a live read.
We're at the end of a live 3-hour show. Is it 4? I'm allowed to yawn during the last hour.
Double-sided
exciting free gift.
Like the multi-stage yawn.
All right, use coupon code BNARMY. That's BNARMY and get all that cool stuff. All right, let's do the beer news, and then we can get out of here.
Like a nap during
Out. We're going to take a nap.
Yeah.
It's the Brewing Network's Beer News, brought to you by homebrewstuff.com.
Well, I got some good news to lead it off this week. California lawmakers have voted to approve Assembly Bill 2609, which allows homebrew organizations to host events in California. Governor Jerry Brown signed the legislation last week, and the new law goes into effect January 1, 2015. The most important effect, of course, will be that the AHA in 2015, which is slated for San Diego, can actually happen. It was in jeopardy, if you recall, of moving out of state as a result of legislation last year that supposedly inadvertently would have put the kibosh on the conference, and it had already forced the cancellation of the Southern California Homebrewers Festival this year, regrettably. But the legislation, to refresh your memory, the thing that screwed everything up, it authorized the donation of homemade beer or wine to nonprofit organizations for fundraising events, but it excluded organizations that exist solely to promote homebrewing, like homebrew clubs.
Right.
So some of you might have already seen this. The AHA sent out an email last week, and Gary Glass had some statements in there. And basically it praised the law, thanked the supporters of the legislation, all the sponsors, and, of course, the California Homebrewers Association, who spearheaded the effort.
This one is a big deal. Now, Tasty, you remember this.
It's cleared
up. Yeah, I'm well aware of this.
It was a big deal because at first it was awesome that all of a sudden homebrew was allowed to be poured at beer festivals such as Winterfest.
Right.
And they were fundraisers for other things.
And not for sale.
Yeah. But then the piece that was put in that screwed everything up was that it said whatever event it was being poured at could not be for the sole purpose of promoting or benefiting homebrew, which is what screwed over the SoCal Homebrew Fest, because that's a nonprofit, but the nonprofit is dedicated to homebrewing. And then the same with the AHA, the Homebrewers Association. It's a nonprofit dedicated to homebrewing. So this was a big deal. We thought, Tasty and I, we really praised this when it first came out because we thought it was fantastic.
We had a legal pour,
to pour at the Winterfest. What we didn't realize was that there was this other little amendment put in there that had this exclusion, and it was really screwing things up. So the reason I'm kind of elaborating on this a little bit is that I want to give kudos once again to the American Homebrewers Association. Yeah. Now, the AHA was under the gun, of course, because we have the National Homebrewers Conference here in San Diego in 2015. Okay. Yeah. So what it did was effectively ban this from happening. Now, all of a sudden, we're pouring homebrew at an event that is for the sole purpose of promoting homebrew. Well, they did what they do best, which is to really rally the troops, talk to legislators, get us to write to our local representatives. And this law got changed. I'm kind of speaking tongue-in-cheek here, but in my opinion, in record time.
It was quick.
Like, this stuff usually is a whole process.
It was a short cycle.
It was so fast that they were to get this amendment written, this change in the law written, and put through. What a great job. And this is what the AHA does for you. Right. And they certainly did for us here in California.
And certainly the Southern California Homebrewers Association got the thing going.
Yeah.
But the AHA's, this is also affecting our national conference in San Diego that's next year.
Yeah,
added a lot of weight to the whole thing for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And the rally, you're right about the Southern California Homebrewers Association. A lot of the Southern California homebrew clubs, who of course are part of that, just did great. But I just find it to be an amazing example of what these people do really well, which is just getting everybody together and changing.
They know how to get the language right.
Yeah.
And how to contact the senators and all kinds of stuff.
It was fantastic. So kudos to them and good for us, because now, Scott, we can go back to the SoCal Homebrew Fest next year.
Thank God.
And we get to have NHC in San Diego.
Yes.
So who doesn't want that?
Win-win. And we still have our legal pour here at our festival.
Yeah. There's a woman who just sat on her couch who has a collar on her neck, and I find that.
I think it's a pearl necklace.
It's a pearl necklace. It really is a pearl necklace.
I find that incredibly hot.
Why?
Carry on, please. Come down to the Hop Grenade and watch live shows. You get to have fun.
Susie's really trying to crane her neck.
You can come out of your boots, Susie. You're not like in jail. She'd rather see you staring at her than us. I'm sure of it.
Pearl neck.
Carry on.
Bud Light's Up for Whatever campaign descended on the historic Colorado mining town of Crested Butte this past weekend. AB paid the town $500,000 to paint Main Street blue for the weekend and throw a 2-day rager for 1,000 out-of-town contest winners. The population, by the way, of Crested Butte is 1,500. Who earn
$500,000.
$500,000. These out-of-towners earned their invitations online, and it was all content for Bud Light's 2015 Super Bowl commercial.
Wow.
So AB painted the entire Main Street blue. They issued GPS-enabled wristbands without which you could not get to downtown. Inside all of the bars and restaurants, only Bud Light bottles lined the shelves. The familiar, mostly historic mountain decor was replaced with anything and everything blue. There were "Smile, You're on Camera" notices plastered everywhere. The vibe, full-on Cancun spring break. There was a huge sand volleyball court with palm trees surrounded by hot tubs. If you didn't want to go into a bar to order a beer, you need only reach up and grab a bottle out of the sky from one of the many drones flying beers around to the party goers.
Wow.
There was a life-size chessboard, a human bowling alley, a petting zoo, a huge game of beer pong, and literal drag racing, go-karts captained by drag queens. So town councilors had given their approval to this so originally AB offered $250K. They doubled it to $500K.
And they just let them go nuts.
And they let them go nuts. Now, predictably, there were a few residents that were not down with whatever.
Sure.
Take, for example, resident and former U.S. Senator Tom Wirth. He said 500 grand was not nearly enough. He fired off a letter to the town council outlining why it was a bad idea. He said, the town government is not elected to turn the town into a weekend beer hall using public resources and public property, nor is it elected to carry on a secret behind-the-scenes negotiations waiting until commitments are a fait accompli before informing town residents.
Why? What else was happening for the 1,500 people that weekend?
Nothing. And to Crested Butte's credit, it seems like the vast majority of the town joined in on the party and just kind of lived it up for 2 days.
Yeah, because what were they doing otherwise? They were watching fucking rodeo on Wednesday night.
Pretty much.
Oh, no drag racing.
1,500 people, $500,000, and your town gets turned into a playground? Lighten up, everybody.
Yeah.
Let's relax.
You should have kicked them all $100. They'd be all smiles on their face.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Relax.
I want a drone.
I want to do this.
Flying me a beer.
Drone and
right?
a beer?
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on.
All I can think as you're reading this story is if the BN ever had an actual budget, that's the shit we would do
No
all the
kidding.
time.
We'd have the
Enough
drone
with all the
fleet.
serious stuff we try to do with the advertising and the what a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
We would just throw enormous parties.
I would.
That's what we would do.
Just cancel.
That would put us on the map.
Cancel.
We'd be experts at it.
We would just
In fact,
throw
we'd have a national
enormous
company
parties.
that That's what we do.
I
is
don't
we
even want to
parties.
be paid anymore. I would just like to have that stuff happen every time.
Because you live to party. You work to party. If it was just party working, why not?
Yeah, enough with all this work we've been doing the last several years. Start partying again.
I'm foregoing all my compensation from this point on.
And just going to partying?
Hey, Doc,
Yeah.
you're finally making
All right.
fucking sense on this
Exactly.
show. Glad we're not talking about beer.
I want a drone that will fly me a beer.
Yeah. God bless him.
We need to maybe set up Chad's old homebrew system on the patio, bust out the hookah.
Out here, yeah.
Yeah, just old times.
Back to the
Back to
roots.
old times. I'm tired of all this work we've been doing.
Yeah.
What else?
All right, here's a couple more.
Work.
So when you guys think of Guinness, you think of course, the Irish Dry Stout. That has long been one of the world's staple beers, but perhaps unknown to the masses is that their brewers experiment pretty frequently, apparently, and their latest offering is a blonde lager.
Of course it is.
That Guinness is now going to distribute nationwide. It's not the first lager. They produced Harp Lager, of course, which was really popular in Ireland, and it's declined a lot in recent years.
Isn't that a blonde lager? I thought that's what the...
No, it's a different offering. So here's what they're doing. They're trying again, Guinness is, but with a historic twist. They say that they think it'll make it succeed. So it won't be brewed at the famous St. James Gate facility in Dublin or in Ireland's Dundalk Brewery, where Harp is made. They'll be brewing it in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, home of Rolling Rock.
Oh, they're making Rolling Rock.
Now, well, what's interesting is they say...
I thought Sam Adams took over the Latrobe Brewery.
Some of their production. I don't know about the brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
This didn't mention Sam Adams. I'm not sure. But so what they're doing is, for the first time, the company's 125-year-old proprietary yeast is making the trip across the Atlantic to become a key ingredient. Entirely American hops, mostly Pacific Northwest. And Guinness has been promoting this pretty heavily very recently.
Didn't you go to a release party for this?
I didn't end up making it to that.
Oh.
They did just do it recently, and I haven't had this yet. But I am interested to see what Guinness yeast is going to do to a blonde lager with American hops. It's just a weird mix.
I think it's bullshit.
How's that?
I don't know. It sounds like they're making Harp. At the fucking Rolling Rock Brewery?
Making Harp.
I mean, call me a skeptic, and they're never going to spend money with us
Harp
anyway.
is good
so
for
fuck
like
it.
a black and tan.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
just
good
feel
for
like
that.
it's a gimmick, don't you think? Hey guys, here's the marketing team sitting around. So get this. We've always made black beer, right? What if we call it Guinness, but it's not black?
What about Harp?
All their marketing minds were blown.
What about one of the guys who raised his hand and says, "What about Harp?"
Yeah, they said, no. Did you hear the part where I say we call it Guinness still? So yes, it's Harp.
We're using that recipe,
but we call it Guinness.
Genius.
I mean, obviously, I'm putting the cart before the horse. I'm jumping the gun here. Maybe it's a whole new beer. I haven't had it, but I'm feeling like I'm being duped. That's what I feel like. I feel like I'm being duped.
Yeah, it seems like they're just adding confusion out there.
Kind of like that French beer you gave us.
Trying to get attention.
I'm duping you. Yeah. Anyway, I hope it's good. I don't know.
Me too.
What do I care?
Yeah, let the beer speak for itself, right?
Yeah.
All right, and then finally this week, here is your depressing depressing ditty from the news department.
So we're going to end on that?
Yeah.
Susie's only an A cup?
Oh, that's depressing.
Wow, that depresses me.
Look me in the boobs and tell me this is an A cup.
Look me in the boobs.
I think her areola's an A cup. All right, here's...
That was a good one, Moskowitz.
Thank you. When it comes to the boobs, bring out the jokes in me. I don't know what to tell you. All right, here it is. Armed robbers, this is amazing, tied up employees and stole more than $10,000 in cash from the Minnesota Craft Brewers Guild's exhibit at the Minnesota State Fair last week.
Wow.
Fair police said it was the first armed robbery of a vendor in Minnesota State Fair history. The robbery was reported shortly after 11 p.m. Friday night. Neither of the two employees working at the Guild were injured, and the whole thing went down in less than 10 minutes. Police aren't saying what sort of weapon was used in the robbery, but they did say that there were a ton of security cameras, and they have several suspects. Minnesota Craft Brewers Guild's Land of 10,000 Beers exhibit sold flights of beer from dozens of Minnesota craft breweries. It was the third year they had hosted the exhibit at the fair, so they sold tons of flights, made a bunch of cash, and robbers made off with it.
Wow.
Amazing.
Inside.
You know what?
Inside job.
I always worry about this at Winterfest.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not going to lie. I'm a pretty trusting guy. I generally don't care. Like, I leave my car unlocked. I think the best in people. But Winterfest kind of freaks me out.
Yeah,
got a big bag of money.
People are buying tickets, and it only
we've had Winterfest in some sketchy parts of town.
Yeah, Oakland, Berkeley,
yeah.
And even I fear that one day some douchebag's just going to catch us off guard. And
no, you see how much police we have around here?
Well, we do have a lot of police. The cops like us too, so they do a good job protecting us.
Hang out. They never give us a problem. They talk to us.
They're all about it.
You should ask them to accompany you.
No, they do.
Oh, they do.
They do. But it's still I'm just saying it crosses my mind all the time because it just takes one gnarly thing.
Well, because Bob Schwartz is holding all the money.
Yeah, it takes. I don't know. You get one crackhead who's just overzealous. Needs another rock.
Two cops over there.
Yeah.
You can send me over there.
We have lots
I'll
of
take care of it.
You take care of it, Suze?
Yeah.
What are you, like a black belt in something?
I'm Asian. I'm a fucking ninja.
Hello.
I play hockey. Come on now.
You're a hockey
Tasty
ninja?
just touched my legs, so he can vouch for me.
She's rock solid, that girl.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's a hockey ninja.
Mm-hmm. She has smother capability.
All right.
Well, God bless the California Brewers Guild, the Homebrewers Association, I should say. We'll see what happens with Bud Light's up for whatever campaign. We'll taste the Guinness, and I hope the robbers of the Minnesota State Fair burn in hell. That's the news. Brought to you by homebrewstuff.com. Go to homebrewstuff.com/promotions and get your winter warmer kits and your barley wine kits, because the time to brew your winter beers is right now. Barrel age that stuff, mellow out that stuff, and watch the expressions on your relatives' faces when you give them that beer in December. Homebrewstuff.com.
All right. Great show, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. It was a good time. Next week, we've got McLeod Brewing Company in studio once again, right?
Yeah, coming
Where
all the
are they
way.
from?
They're from Southern Cal, and they. My understanding is they are an all-English ale brewery. So they're bringing up their own cask system, I believe.
Okay.
And we'll have some English beers on, and we'll talk to those guys about English brewing.
What city are they from?
They're the Valley, like Burbank or something.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
The Valley.
The Valley.
All right, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back next week with another great show. It's another Monday here from the Hop Grenade. I'd like to thank everybody for coming in the studio. Thanks to Shoe Bros, and thanks to Koen from Hugelier Brewing Company for hanging out with us tonight and bringing us some nice beer. Good to hang out with those guys and learn about the collaboration deal going on right here in our own backyard in Santa
pretty
Rosa.
cool.
So that's nice to see. Suze, thanks for coming in and working the chat for us tonight.
Thank you, Susie.
We haven't seen you in a while, so nice to see you.
Good to see you, too.
What'd you drive out here? The Volkswagen?
No.
No.
I have 7. That's my daily red.
You have 7 cars?
Her name is 7.
Your other car is 7? Sometimes you totally creep me out, Susie. I'm not going to lie.
Why?
I don't know. You have a weird thing.
That was
about
kind of creepy. Like,
you're like, her name is 7.
He's like,
you look at me like you're going to stab me.
It's like we know what that means.
Susie creeps me out.
Sorry.
We
In a
don't
good
know what
way.
that means.
Could be your age cup that creeps you out.
or the group sex thing.
All right,
Or the lunch
everybody.
ladies.
We'll see you next week.
See ya.